I'll take it.
Are you sure you're not interested? I was like, don't ask me again.
And it's a bad hair day too.
So she's like, scream for me, and then it's just dead silence.
It was a good risk to take, and it was great.
Boom! I'm gonna try to give you a friend, and then I was like,
I wish you had like a granny mask.
That would be so cool, or like a ghost uniform.
And everybody was like totally freaked out.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Jonah. Hello.
Hello, Mark.
Yeah, it's that learning by doing and experimenting, and like that's also a valid way to figure stuff out.
I'm so glad it did because I hated the way it looked before. I was just like, oh man.
Switch phones and headphones, so we'll see. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's much better.
Oh, is it? Okay, all right. These might be better then. Okay, good.
Yeah. No, don't touch a thing.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. I actually love thinking that this band wouldn't exist if it weren't for this guy's cat.
Wow.
I mean, quite literally, if this cat didn't exist, there would be no band. So
that's funny to think about.
Life is life is super random. I love that.
Oh, I have to wait 2 years for anybody to hear it.
To just like, spew music out like that, man, it takes time, you know, and people consume it like that. You know, okay, what's next? And it's like, whoa, man, it took
I know
years.
Like the CEO from Spotify who wants you to release shit like every day.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Sure. Because everyone just has an endless budget to release stuff every day.
Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Mark Sugiyama from Eclectic Arts, and welcome to the Fun Table Sessions, Round 5 in 2021. It's Friday, April 2nd, 2021. I just had a brain fart. I haven't had a drop of alcohol either. It's been one of those kind of weeks where I was just talking to one of my guests pre-show, and I apologize for the delayed start. We didn't have technical difficulties. We were just kind of talking and kind of seeing where our guests were, because I knew one of them was going to potentially be running late, and the other one I wasn't sure where they were. But I see I have a couple people waiting for me, so I think we're all good. Yeah, I just want to thank everyone for the month of March. It turned into an exceptional month for me. I never really know, I don't have some grand plan of how I plan these things out in terms of all the interviews that I do and all the coverage that I do. And I ended up doing 22 live streams out of 31 days last month. I also ended up with the most donations that I've received ever. I think that was very much about certain donors that were very, very generous. That it won't be the average by any means, at least I don't think so. But there's a reason why the PayPal me is back up. We're in a new month now. And I do always mention that besides the streaming service costing me money to run, I'm always looking at upgrading my gear. I was kind of laughing about how I've got this tripod now that doesn't move. So I'm super happy about simple things. I've changed my background and my backdrop a few times. There's some other gear that I would love to use. I'm still using my phone for these. So at some point, if I could ever get to a point where I have something a little bit bigger than this. But in the meantime, you know, it's working fine, obviously, because I've done over 155 live streams with this basic setup for the most part. But if you're so inclined, and if you're in a position to make a donation at any time, the PayPal me link is always in the YouTube description. It's also on the Twitch page. When I have guests on for any of the interviews, including the Fun Table Sessions, I put a link there in the description as well. So if you want to check them out, you can go right there. It makes it easy access. You don't have to be searching for anything. And then we just kind of go from there. So as always, a few things coming up. If you happen to be a fan of the Television Stone, this is going to be a long night, I can already tell. Good thing it's a Fun Table Session and not a proper one-on-one interview. If you're a fan of the Yellowstone television show, which has finished 3 seasons, they're working on their 4th season, which should be coming out, I believe, probably this summer. That's when they typically do it. I have my very first guest from that show coming this Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It's Mo Brings Plenty, who plays the character of Mo, who is Chief Rainwater's right-hand man and protector. And I'm super excited because that's my favorite TV show. So I'm super stoked to have him joining me on Sunday at 3 p.m. So we'll get a chance to talk to Mo and everything that he's been doing with the show, but also things he's been doing with his nation and the people that that he represents, and has been very vocal and a civic-minded advocate for Native people. So I'm really looking forward to talking to him on Sunday. And then I have, there's going to be, not to get too detail oriented, but I have a live stream on Monday, Tuesday. There's 2 on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, as I mentioned to my guest pre-show, I'm getting my jab, the first one. So I'm not scheduling anything for a couple of days just to make sure I don't have any adverse reactions to the vaccine. And then we'll start looking at things either next weekend or into the following week for new things. But just know that I have lots of things going on that are planned. There's things that are still in the works. I still have things that I do for the opera and the film companies. And I've got the P&B actually probably tonight. So there's always things going on. So I appreciate your support with anything you do. If you're watching on YouTube, if you could like the video at any time, if it's this one, if it's another one that you happen to be looking at another time, if you could subscribe to the channel. Same thing with Twitch. If you could follow me there, that really helps out a lot with the algorithm and gets my stuff out to more people. So always appreciative of that. So let's kind of get to this. And if you're not familiar with the Fun Table Sessions, this is where I bring back 3 people, 2 people, sometimes 4 or 5 people that I've interviewed prior. And we just kind of shoot the breeze about random topics and kind of go from there. It's nothing serious, or at least it shouldn't be too serious. Sometimes people ask me questions, and if you're in the chat, you can obviously ask any of the guest things, and we kind of go from there. So let's see, since I'm not really sure, I better check and make sure I can see. Okay, so now I know who's here. All right, so let's bring in one of my first guests I'm going to bring in. Joined me 2 weeks ago for her first Fun Table session, and she has a really awesome music background and just a really creative, artistic type of person. And so I'm really glad that she came back and can join me today. So please welcome back Bara.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Again, thank you so much for for hanging out again on a Friday night.
Of course. Thanks for asking me again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it's interesting. Typically, with this platform that I use, once I've done an interview or a session, I will get rid of things that were in it. If it's an overlay, if it's a video, something like that. I kept yours in there because I was looking at it. Sometimes when I'd be waiting to do interviews, I would sit there and just watch it and listen to it.
Which one? The whole video?
Yeah, it's still there.
Oh, nice.
And truthfully, it's the only one there. I left it there, so I had something that I don't have to sit there and look at YouTube or look at something else. I can press it right there, and I can watch and listen to it. So I really enjoy Weapon, obviously, since I still have it. I've listened to it many times.
Aw, that means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. And I see one of our other guests has joined us, made it through traffic, which for those that aren't from the local area here, our traffic sucks. You think it's bad in some of the major cities. Our infrastructure can't handle all the growth here. So that's what happens when you're trying to get through I-5 or 405 here, or 520. But I'm glad she's here. She has been a part of the Fun Table Sessions a handful of times. I think this will be her first time in 2021, though. She is with the Olympic Ballet Theater. They actually have a premiere of their new piece tonight at 7 p.m. on their YouTube channel. It's free of charge. They're looking for donations. So when you're done with this, if you want to have something else to do tonight, you can go to the Olympic Ballet Theater YouTube channel and check out their piece. And so welcome back to the Fun Table Sessions, Rowan Cattell. And she just dropped off. Oh, there she is. Yay, let's see if we can get her in.
Sorry, I had a bus drive by and it interrupts my Wi-Fi connection. Yay, internet.
No problem. How are you, Rowan?
I'm good. I didn't hit traffic today, so that was great. But yeah, otherwise doing good. I get my first vaccine tomorrow, and so I'm super stoked. But yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we were just talking about that pre-show that I'm scheduled for Thursday for my first one, and then we'll see what happens. So that's cool. I keep forgetting to do this. Hey, Tony, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us over in the Pittsburgh area on the East Coast. Hopefully you're enjoying the movie. So Tony was our winner of the 9-film giveaway that I did on my YouTube channel. So I guess they just arrived today, I think. So he's got 9 films, brand new films to watch whenever he wants from Go USA. And yeah, so that's cool, Tony. So Tony, if you end up having questions, we're having, I shouldn't say we're having issues. My third guest, everybody, is not connecting, and I'm not sure hopefully everything's okay, because usually his communication's top notch. And so yeah, if Dan joins us, that'll be great. But yeah, if you have anything you want to ask, well, there's my mom. Hi, Mom. We got 2 people in the chat. But yeah, if you wanted to ever ask anybody a question, this is the time to do it, because you'll have a little bit more attention than maybe you would in the past. But yeah, so you're getting do you know which one you're getting, Rowan? Which vaccine?
I don't. It's through the University of Washington, so I think the Moderna. I think.
Okay. So it's the double jab.
Yeah, not Johnson & Johnson, which is... It makes my heart a little bit more at peace. I know the Johnson & Johnson is still very effective, but supposedly Moderna and Pfizer are more effective, and so I'd rather just have all my bases covered.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the germs, please. That's what I want.
Yeah, I'm in the same position that the one I get on Thursday, I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know which one. I just know it's one of the 2 because of that. There's a follow-up 2 weeks later, so I know it's not Johnson & Johnson, but well, I guess I'll find out at noon on Thursday.
If it's a 21-day period between your vaccines, I think it's Pfizer, and the other one is 28, which might be Moderna.
Okay.
I would look it up, but it's definitely that's one of them has a 21-day waiting period and the other one has a 28-day, and I can't remember which one's which.
Oh, okay. All right. Interesting.
But that would be a good way to weasel it out.
All right.
That just makes me think of that zombie movie, 28 Days Later. I was like, is that why it's 28 days?
Yeah, that's true. I was half joking around that I'll like one jab away from turning into the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
And my mom's saying Pfizer is the 21-day one. So okay, well, thanks, Mom. I guess you would know because you already got vaccinated with both of your shots. So you and Dad. And then,
congrats.
Yeah, I see Ken. I'm in Club Pfizer. Second jab had me feeling crummy for a little more than a day, but not too bad. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, different people having different reactions for sure. There seems to be kind of a little bit of a disparity between things. So most people are doing all right, but yeah, there's been some exceptions to that. So hopefully I'm not an exception, and Rowan, hopefully you're not either.
Yeah, hopefully not. I get off work and go directly to get my shot Saturday, and then I work Sunday for 8 hours, and then Monday for 6 hours, and then Tuesday's my first day off. So if I'm feeling crummy, I really hope that's not the case. I hope it's workably crummy. Manageably bad.
Yeah. Are you a dancer, or do you just work for the ballet?
I dance ballet professionally, but we are not back until the 20th of April is when our new rehearsal season starts. However, we have a premiere that went live 25 minutes ago for our digital season, so that's exciting. But Sunday I'm bartending, and Monday I fit point shoes professionally, and so that's what I'll be doing Saturday and Monday.
Cool.
Funding ballet.
Ballet life. I used to dance too, long time ago.
It's so rewarding. And I feel like it's something you keep with you for forever.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely helps remind me to hold my shoulders back, you know what I mean? People have told me that my posture is pretty good because of it. So I guess there's long-term positive effects of it.
Well, that explains my bad posture. Since I have no dance background.
We got to put you in some point shoes then.
Yeah, I have some on my wall from a P&B dancer that I won. I don't know. If
Nice.
Yeah.
No, those are very specific to your foot. That's not something that you can just Cinderella your way through.
Right. Yeah, that's probably not the best idea.
Yeah.
Okay, and what else am I seeing in here? Okay, no reaction. And so like, and I know Barhar, you were saying down in California that they're kind of following the same thing they're doing in Washington. Once you hit April 15th, then most adults can, make their appointments if they choose to for the vaccines.
Yeah, because right now it's like impossible to get it if you're not like super at risk or over 65 or whatever, or have a job that deals with directly with the public. But it's weird. Is like California is going to start allowing concerts and stuff starting April 15th, and I kind of feel like that's a little.
That seems really
a little
early.
Ambitious. Yeah, it's like, well, that's the day where everyone's like, it's free game, like everyone's game for a vaccine, but like it's gonna take a while until everybody gets their appointment.
I feel like it'll take a month.
Huh? Yeah, it'll take. I don't know. Like it's been going pretty quickly down here. I don't know about up there, but I'm kind of like shocked at how we went from like no hope to like, oh, we're starting to book concerts for the end of the year. Like I just got my first show booked for the year, and I'm just like, hopefully everything's cool by November.
That's really exciting.
But, yeah. So, but we'll see. It's kind of like you have to just like expect that it might end up canceled, because who knows? Like there could be like some weird new mutation that's like, I don't want to think about it. Like that's no more.
Yeah, no,
we want to get on stage.
I'm kind of like you, because I was telling I think my mom this, just on a simple example, that I was at the grocery store this week, and so all the things they used to have on the floor and the aisles, which direction, which people have been ignoring for the last few months anyway, but those 6-foot spacers where you check out, they're all gone. So we've gone all the way back to where someone's like right on your neck and all this kind of crap. At least out here,
should keep those forever.
Yeah, because I know during these things I've said that even pre-pandemic, I would love to have 6 feet at all times at any cash register, just so that people
unlimited capacity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm living for that. Also, like less traffic was nice. Now it's back to like it feels worse now. But I think it's also because like the driving skill, like people have gotten worse at driving down here. Like I swear, it's like every day I'm almost in an accident, and I'm just like, I'm just trying to go to Trader Joe's. I don't want to die on my way to Trader Joe's. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, it's insane. And I don't know if it's just because people have like, yay, COVID's almost over brain, or like I don't know what it is, but something feels wacky.
Yeah, at least for me, it seems like there is a bit of this, like someone just gave you a green light. Okay, now I can just kind of do things. And you can do some things, but you still need to be smart about it.
Yeah.
Some people are, they don't give a shit. They're just kind of doing whatever they wanted to do.
I know.
And
so silly. Yeah,
because I know there's a couple counties up here that are talking about rolling them back to another phase because everything's spiking for them. So, yeah, I think all this vaccine talk has kind of got some people thinking, oh, okay, we're home, we're basically around the bend, and we can just do what we need to. And it's like, well, we've got some other things we still got to kind of let play out first, and then hopefully we can get to that point. But yeah, we'll see. And yeah, I've been seeing more things about tours coming into my inbox about we booked our tour, and it's still like, yeah, there's a weird question.
Tour seems ambitious. Yeah, like shows here and there, it's fine, but like a whole tour seems a little ambitious. Like I get that people like everything's a business and like you have to keep that machine oiled or whatever, but like I don't know, it's that plus like Europe. Like I saw somebody book a tour last year for Europe, and obviously I'd cancel it, so they rescheduled it for late this year. And most of Europe has no vaccine in sight or anything. They're not doing really great. Their borders are still closed to Americans because we lost the privilege to like be able to be let into any European country last year. And so I don't think those are going to happen.
Yeah. One of the guests was just talking to me how they were back in lockdown over there. I forget what country that was.
France is back in lockdown.
Okay.
I think the UK has like been in an endless one since like December. They've been in a pretty brutal one.
Yeah.
Denmark is back in lockdown as well. There's a couple like dancers I follow in Europe that are like, okay, third time's the charm, or fourth or fifth or whatever. But yeah, I know to travel, there's a lot of talk about having to get like a vaccine passport. Like you have to get your vaccine certified through the World Health Organization, which I would love to navigate because that's like the one thing I like to spend money, not one. That is the best thing I like to spend money on is like traveling. Like I try to save up every year and take a trip somewhere that, you know, like concerts and stuff like that, you know, like experiences. I'd rather have experiences than like material things.
Traveling is very important.
Yeah.
And it sucks that we can't do it. You know, like it's just like getting to that point where like we know that it's necessary, but it's just like, you know, you get a little fatigued when it's just been like you have no idea when you're gonna be able to do that again. And it's just like I just want to travel. Like I miss the like smell of European air, or like the excitement of seeing like being in a place with a new language or something. Like that's something that I've been really wanting to do as well. But you know, just gotta tough it out for a little while longer. Hopefully it's not too much longer.
Definitely worth the wait. But I grew up in this area, like within a 40-mile radius, and I've lived here my whole life, and it's just, I'm like so ready to leave.
Yeah.
I was hoping to have been able to move and find like a new life path like a year within the last year and a half, and so it's kind of frustrating to be like set back a little bit, but at the same time like it's nice to be even more prepared.
Yeah, definitely. This 2020 was prep year. It was like get the work done, and later hopefully you'll reap the benefits of what you've worked on.
Yeah, you know, that's a good way to look at it, because I think, Rowan, I think when you did the one with Christiana and John and Carlos back in December, I think both of you guys were talking about, they were looking at maybe New York, maybe this in terms of trying to move. And said, well, we're not going to do it right now, but maybe in 2022, or depending on how things kind of shape up, that you can finally, like Bara was saying, having this kind of prep time to get ready, and then you can execute your plan when it's like a good time to do it.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm just curious, Rowan, with the premiere tonight, because I for some reason I kept thinking it was going to be a ticketed event, and then I saw it was free, and they're just looking for donations. How long so you guys were obviously there trying to, you know, not trying, but you were shooting this, and it's going to be coming in different parts. Is that correct?
So there's 2 different pieces we were working on, and each piece I think was well over 10 minutes in length. I think one of them was about 12 and the other one closer to 20, but I could be wrong. It's been a month and my memory's not great. But they're both the same style of dance. Like it's both contemporary, ballet, modern. And so I think choosing to separate them not only helps because sitting in front of a screen for 20-something minutes watching someone dance, while it is a very rewarding and fulfilling experience, is fatiguing mentally and visually, and with the pieces being kind of a similar vocabulary, I think it's also like that's another reason it was a really good choice to kind of split them up. That way it doesn't blend into like one big piece, and you can get like the different feeling and the different messages from each piece, and so we have more to put out into the world as well, rather than just like, here's this one thing, we'll see you again in 2 months, maybe.
Yeah, it's how the music world is right now too. They're like, we don't do full albums anymore. We just do singles and EPs.
Yep.
So that, you know, people's like attention spans are shorter now. So you're just like, here's a little bit, and then in 6 months we'll give you a little bit more. You know, but
yeah, absolutely. It's nice to, like I haven't seen the recording either, so I'm excited to be able to like see it. Which will be nice. I'm waiting until like Sunday when I have a little more time. But
yeah, were you a part of it?
Yeah, I was luckily able to be a part of it. I spent like 2 weeks in the hospital before the rehearsals, and so I didn't know if I would be able to like be in shape and healthy enough to be a part of it, but my body agreed with me for once and it healed, and so I was able to be a part, and it was amazing. It was so nice to be moving again outside of my like 500 square foot apartment on the second floor where I can't make noise.
You can't do jumps in point shoes.
Yeah, and to just like be around other human beings with the same kind of energy. I feel like so much of art in general is the environment you're in and the people that you're able to work with and surround yourself with. And so like being in that setting where you're all in the same like mind space and you've all got the same energy you're putting into it was so amazing. I was like, I knew I missed dance, but like this feeling is so hard to replicate in your brain when you're like, trying to work on your own. To just have like other people's energy to feed off of was so rewarding. I was like, this is what I've been needing.
Especially dance class, or like not dance class, but like the dance setting. Like you definitely need other people around. I don't know how you work, but like when I was a dancer, I couldn't do anything by myself. I was just like, I don't know, whatever. But when you're in like that group environment, then you're motivated to try harder. You get like better ideas. I don't know. There's just like no, like you said, there's no feeling like it.
Yeah, like the inspiration from others is definitely what drives me the most, I would say. I'm around people who are doing amazing things. Like, of course, I want to do amazing things as well.
You gotta step it up, right?
Whereas in my apartment, I'm like, you know what? I just kicked my cat twice. Like, that's probably enough for today.
And I don't know. Do you probably receive feedback from people also, right? Like corrections or feedback or whatever that you can't really get on your own.
Definitely. And I feel like the great thing about artists is we all approach things differently and we all come from different backgrounds. And so sometimes like my troubleshooting for the problems I'm having just doesn't work. Like you get stuck and then someone else will walk up and they'll be like, oh, did you try maybe like putting your shoulder down an inch or something silly like that? Like the smallest thing. And you're like, this is what I've been struggling for months. And now it's just like miraculously better. This is great. Like, thank you.
Yep, totally. Yeah, I'm ready to see a few people now.
I'm so excited to be vaccinated and be able to like hug people again. Like I feel like I'm a very, I don't want to say like a touchy person, but like that's part of how I connect with people is like physical touch. And I don't know if it's because of just like dance. I'm used to being like close to people and partnering and stuff like that. So like not being able to, even dogs, like I feel guilty touching someone else's dog when they're walking on the street. I'm like,
I know.
Hi, over
You're
there.
like, I put my germs on you.
Yeah. Spreading COVID through people's dogs.
That's so sad. Plus, you can't just pet a dog. You can't just like pet a dog. You have to like, you know, like rub your face in their face and stuff.
I just saw, that was 2 days ago, there was I don't even know which neighbor that was for me on the street. I was walking two dogs I'd never seen before. So I was kind of trying to be respectful, going a certain distance closer to the dog, but they were trying to get to me. And so luckily his leash was long enough to kind of let that keep extending, so then I could, you know, play with his dogs a bit and not be near him. But it's those small things that you miss so much, and then hopefully we'll start to get them back one at a time. And I know I did an interview with there's a theater company here, and it's a 2-person play, and they did all their rehearsing and blocking virtually. So then when they finally got in the studio together to film this thing, they said it was so nice and so different that they basically almost had to start over, because it's like, there's that energy, here's everything that we wanted, and it'd be kind of like, and they're like overexcited about doing their scenes, and they'd screw things up. So it's like, we shouldn't even have done the virtual part of it. We should have just started working on this, and they're doing all the COVID protocols and everything else. But because I was just curious, like, how did you film everything the way that you did? And so we did it like 5 different times, and then we kept stopping, just like doing a movie basically, or a TV show, which they were not used to. They're used to doing everything live. You screw it up, you just keep it moving and try to figure out how to cover it up. But they're like, oh no, you made a mistake. Well, we'll just go back and start it all over again. Like, oh, this is kind of nice.
And then they're like, TV and movie actors, they just don't have any skill. It's funny how there's like always like this unspoken like competition between between like stage actors and film actors. How like, you know, one of them thinks that their method is superior to the other. It's pretty funny. I mean, think about it. Like TV actors, TV and film, they mess up. They just start over.
Yeah.
But you're live on stage and you sneeze or something. You just have to pretend your character sneezed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was the same with like recording for us. This is the first time that I have like done a piece that we were specifically recording for film, and it wasn't like a piece first and then we filmed it. And so like with dance, you have like intermission and the end, and those are your breaks, or when you're off stage. And it was crazy to be like, all right, well, like you guys kind of fell a little bit that time. Like, let's just do that section over again. And I was like, I don't have to wait till tomorrow to try again. Like, this is great.
I don't have to beat myself up backstage that I did something wrong that probably nobody noticed.
Right? Like you're sitting in bed and you're like, okay, so tomorrow going into this turn, this is what I need to do. It will be better.
Put my shoulder down an inch. Yeah, totally. Yeah, hopefully that doesn't spoil you for when like shows return though. I'm sure it won't.
Yeah, I think this next piece we're doing is virtual, and then we are learning something in June. I don't know what it is, but I think that will be another virtual work. But hopefully come Nutcracker next winter, it'll be live.
Yeah. Well, Nutcracker, when do you start preparing that?
It depends. So like growing up, we started in August, but now that I dance professionally, it's kind of like, well, you guys know what to do. And so we start like November, sometimes late November.
Oh my
so
God,
it's like not a lot of rehearsals. Generally we rehearse, I think, for 6 weeks for Nutcracker. And I'm used to having like August, September, October, and then performing in November. So like 6 weeks as opposed to 3 months is like.
Oh my gosh.
My first year dancing like with this company, I was like, this isn't enough time. How are we starting in November? Like, it's not going to be ready. I'm so scared. But, you know, everybody's on top of it and worked really hard. And it came together and it was beautiful. But I'm a high stress person. So,
yeah. I mean, it's just funny how, like, every year that's like a staple. Like, oh, it's Nutcracker time.
And it's funny because a lot of the times the choreography changes for like the choreography stays the same for group work. And you'd think like after 3 years doing the same piece, I would remember it. But I swear every year I go in and they're like, okay, let's run snow scene. And I'm like,
can you remind me?
I know I start in this corner and after that.
Yeah. But then they remind you and you probably pick it up in like.
Yeah. Like I see someone do it and I'm like, oh. But then it's really funny because they'll be like 8 to 16 counts of movement. I'll be like, I swear I've never done that in my life. Like, no, I don't think so.
It's probably kind of similar to like when you're trying to remember the melody of a song while you're listening to another song. You're just like, wait, I know it. I know it, but just give me a second.
I feel like music can be really repetitive too. And I've noticed that more when I'm older. Like I'll be listening to a song and I'm like, hey, wait a second. This sounds so much like this other song.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just like, you know, like only a certain amount of notes go together and that is what it is.
Yeah, and there's only so many types of scales or whatever. And like, yeah, it's weird. Like I always, when I'm writing music, I'm just like, I really hope I didn't accidentally rip something off that like I heard years ago that is stuck in my subconscious or something. And oh no, I wrote the Macarena again. Yeah. Oops, that was me the whole time.
I think we deserve a new Macarena in 2021. It's time.
We didn't even deserve the first one.
That's true. I had to do a dance to that when I was like 10, I want to say, in the worst costumes, and literally our dance was just the like yeah.
That's not a song of 10. That's not a song a 10-year-old should be dancing to.
No, but also I'm like amazed by how supportive parents are. Like the fact that they sat through all 3 minutes and clapped afterwards. Like I would have left. I would have.
Yeah.
Not as good of a person as full-blown adults.
I know some parents are totally angels. Like in 5th grade, I was chosen to sing like the graduation song or whatever, and it was that Mariah Carey Hero song. I'm pretty sure I did not nail it. In 5th grade.
And they're like, we have it on video. You were amazing.
Everyone was like, oh my God, that was so good. And I'm pretty sure it was terrible. Like, I can't even remember. It was way too long ago. But, like, wow, that's a pretty ambitious song that you gave, like, a 10-year-old to sing. Whatever, look how far I've come.
What about you, Mark? Prodigy since age 8?
No, my mom could attest to that. I don't think I was a prodigy of anything. God grief. Anything I'm quote unquote good at, I've definitely had to work at. I'm not gifted at anything. I'm not natural at anything. It's been a long road to get good at anything I do. I just want to update people. Dan is fine. He says he's an idiot because he actually had it for tomorrow. And so he was trying to figure out if he can get on now, but he can't because of whatever else he's doing over there in Chicago. So his massive apologies to everybody that he couldn't make it today and couldn't even jump on for right now. So he says he feels like a complete dumbass. But I'm just glad he's okay. That's why I'm thinking that maybe something happened to him, or who knows. But he's fine. So we'll get him back on at a later time. Next month, this month, whatever. I don't know. I don't have anything planned in terms of how these fun tables go. I just kind of do when I feel like doing them. But no, I don't. For me, it's always. I mean, like when I start playing guitar, is this being streamed on Twitch? Yes, it is. It is being streamed on Twitch on my Eclectic Arts channel. I think it's called Eclectic Arts. I'm so stupid. I have it. Sometimes it's Eclectic Arts. Sometimes it's Eclectic Arts Media. But yeah, it is being streamed on Twitch. A Silent Koala, since you asked, on YouTube. But actually, we have some people joining us from Twitch, so it's definitely there if that's a better place for you to be. But yeah, no prodigy here. But you know what? For people that aren't familiar with Bara, and like I mentioned to her before the show, sometimes when I'm waiting for guests to join, I watch her video because I have it loaded into my platform. And I think this would actually be a great time just to show it so people can see it and hear it. And then we'll come back and we'll continue the banter of the fun table sessions. Okay, so, and Bara, do you want to set this up? When did you actually release this? Because it wasn't that long ago, maybe 3 weeks ago?
No, it was March 5th. So actually, it's almost been a month, if you can believe that. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And so we'll roll it, and then you can tell us more details about it because there's a lot of interesting things that go on in this video. So here we go.
Cool.
Adoration,
Very cool.
I like how somebody says they have that same sword. It's cool.
And
Another Kill Bill fan.
yeah, and I just think about that. Is Weapon available on Bandcamp?
Yeah. I always push Bandcamp. Like, I hate Spotify. Sorry, Spotify. If you want to sponsor me, that's cool. But like, yeah, Bandcamp, it's it's on there. All my music up till now is on there. And there will be more soon.
Awesome. So those out
And
there.
it's Bandcamp Friday today, so there's still a few more hours. Bandcamp just started doing this thing where, like, the beginning of the pandemic, they were just like, oh, all the artists that are on here, like, they're not able to tour or do shows or anything, so we gotta like figure out how to help them out. So every first Friday of the month now, they all proceed, like everything that you sell on there, 100% goes to you, because they take like a small percentage usually, which is not. It's like nothing, but it's even nicer on Bandcamp Friday because you get all of it.
Yeah, and that's why I mentioned it, because I think the exact same thing. It's like, hey, people got a few hours left if you want to go there. All that money go straight to Bara instead of a little chunk of it going to Bandcamp. It's really awesome that they did that. So I'm in the same camp. I'm a super supporter of Bandcamp, and I don't give a crap about that other platform. And
no, and it's great too because you can like set up like your merch store on there. You can like send out emails through Bandcamp so that you don't. Because I have a mailing list, but it like always seems to go to people's spam box, like spam inbox instead. So like the Bandcamp messages go directly into people's emails. So yeah, I just love it. Like the only thing that I could say about Bandcamp that they need to fix, like once they have a not a Spotify playlist feature or like radio stations on there, then for Spotify's like no one needs it. No, because that's what everybody always complains about. Well, Bandcamp doesn't have playlists. You can't make playlists. Whatever, but that's kind of why Bandcamp's better for musicians too, because it kind of makes people listen to one artist at a time and like really appreciate what that one person created, as opposed to just like mixing and matching.
Yeah, very well said. And I see my friend Ken saying third time seeing the video, it's growing on me.
It's growing on me.
Yeah, and I'm a metalhead, so that's saying a lot. So
yeah. Thanks, Ken.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Spotify sponsors. Oops. Yeah. Whatever. I'm not Joe Rogan or anything, so I'll be okay. I'm not like Elon Musk or Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I always try to be mindful of when the first Friday comes up every month. I kind of say, well, who have I not supported? Try to look through things, and it's really interesting. And Tony's saying, totally agree. I love Bandcamp. It's been interesting that I actually reached out to some of the artists that I've interviewed and said, hey, do you have any kind of physical merchandise of anything? It doesn't have to be the CD. It could be, I don't know, a coffee mug or a T-shirt or something. And how many of them don't have anything for me to buy other than a digital download? And I don't do that. I'm a dinosaur. Yeah. I don't do that route. So kind of like, okay, well, I guess, unfortunately, I'll have to look at somebody else that maybe they have a little bit of merch that I might be able to buy and throw back here.
No, I agree. Like, I definitely, like I said before when we first talked, like I have this kind of like apprehension towards like getting physical stuff made because it's just like wasteful kind of, but like, I don't know. Eventually I want to make a few things here and there, but not like huge runs of it, but it's also another thing is like, I'm 100% like self-funded artist. So everything comes out of my own pocket. And like, I'm a student. I'm not like, rolling in the dough or anything. So it's kind of like, I can't like make like 500 shirts and like another 500 records and CDs and like all that stuff. So like eventually, hopefully, like, what's up, record labels, if you want to help me out a little bit. But that's another reason why I don't really have anything out, because like that means that it's coming out of my own pocket, and I've just been kind of lazy to design stuff lately because I'm just like my brain's just like, I want to do this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, and then it's like, oh yeah, I have to make t-shirt designs or whatever. But I will probably have merch starting this summer, because I will have a new EP out in hopefully late May. It's getting delayed a little bit. And then, when shows come back, I want to have like, at least a couple things for sale. it'll be crappy to like show up and be like, just go to my Bandcamp and digital download. You know, like some tangible things are good, because I'm like so sick of this whole like everything's digital now. Like I thought I liked it for a minute, and then now like everyone's raving about these like NFTs and like, I don't know if you are familiar with NFTs, the craze. Oh no,
I'm a grandma.
Okay.
I have a keychain that says "#1 grandma."
No,
I did not buy it for myself.
It's not even that you're a grandma. It's just like, this is super like brand new. So NFT is like, it stands for non-fungible token. So it's basically like people, mostly digital artists, are making digital artwork that exists only in the digital sphere, and putting them up on certain websites that host these things, and they have like an kind of like an auction. So like you can make like a digital piece and you put it up and you name your price, but then after people buy it, like they can resell it for whatever the fuck money they want. So and the artist still gets part of that money, so they're still making money even off of resells. But what is really like confusing to me is that some of these digital artists are selling one piece for like $2 million. But I just don't really know, like, to me it just sounds kind of like I don't want to like offend anybody, but it sounds kind of like a pretentious thing to do, or you like you bought something digital that only exists on your computer or a hard drive and you spent $2 million on it. It just kind of feels like, why? Like, wouldn't you rather buy a painting that hangs in your house instead? And I don't know, it's like the carbon footprint on it is massive, and like, I don't know, it just sounds like kind of weird to me. It's pretty new.
It's just like a very specific sect of people who would be interested in that, you know, like you have to be into it to be interested, and other than that, it's not relevant to your life. Like people who go to like releases for clothing brands, and it's literally they're buying like a t-shirt that says Supreme on it, and they stood in line for 8 hours to get like this one t-shirt that was printed. I'm like, you could have, I mean, I'm not saying you should, but you probably could have made a fake one and no one would have known.
Yeah, well, it's like Silent Koala here saying NFT is all about ownership, bragging rights. Like, that's kind of what it feels like to me. To be like, you know, that one piece that this one artist put out in 2021 entitled whatever, I was one of the first people to purchase the NFT and like download it or whatever. And it just seems like why did it take going digital for people to start paying for art? Like, why did it like, until there's like this cool like bragging right behind it? Like, why? I don't know. I want art.
I feel like that's a really good argument.
Yeah, like I'm all for artists getting paid 100%. Like when I first found out about this, I was finding some artists making like $20 million in a day because of all the like NFTs that they were selling. But I don't know, like it just kind of feels like this like Silicon Valley bragging right party. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And I'm not like anti-tech or anything. Like I'm all for like future, you know, technology advancement, whatever. But like I feel like there are certain things that need to be like figured out. I don't know, but whatever. People are gonna do whatever they want to do. It's just silly. I don't.
They always do.
Yeah. So whatever. My opinion is meaningless. But that's what NFTs are in a nutshell, I guess. So you buy them with cryptocurrency, like you buy with Bitcoin or whatever, and it's like backed up by blockchain. So it's like. Yeah.
Cryptocurrency actually kind of like intimidates me. I feel like if I bought it, I wouldn't know what to do with it, and then I'd forget I had it, and then it would just be wasting money.
Yeah.
Like I know it can be a great investment, and like we're going in that direction, but I also am like I've worked in restaurants for 7 years, and I'm so used to having like tangible money that even using like my credit card stresses me out, even though I know it's like a good thing to do because it affects your credit score and it's good for you and adulthood and blah blah blah. Like cryptocurrency is like a whole nother level. I'm like I just got investments. I don't need cryptocurrency.
I know. Well, like I don't know. I don't really know too much about cryptocurrency, but I think that in any case that's one of like the safest ones, because it's just like it's backed up, you know. But I'm with you. Like when I worked in restaurants for like all my 20s, and like I'd never used my card because I was just like, here's a wad of, you know, $10, single
Let me just
dollar
sit
bill.
here and count out my singles. Also,
Yeah.
I dance professionally, but not what you're thinking. It's cool.
It's like, are
nothing
they
against them? Like they're an artist. They're doing
Yeah.
great work. I couldn't do that, but like
Yeah.
that's not what I do.
Yeah.
No
it was always
judgment
fun,
either way.
like going to the bank and being like, do they think I'm a stripper or a waitress? You decide.
Right.
Yeah.
Like either way,
Yeah.
I had somebody that I know locally who's a guitar player that talked about he just did his first NFT, and I thank you for explaining it because I had no fucking clue what that was or anything else.
Oh, I'm probably explaining it terribly too. Like there are other people out there that can explain it better, but you know, that's the gist of it that I've figured out.
At least it's something. That's more than I
Yeah.
had 10 minutes ago.
I didn't know it existed until you talked about it. So
yeah, I mean, I had to look it up because I was like, wait, people are just buying the digital version. That's it? Like that's what they're paying all these millions of dollars for? Or like however, it's pretty much you set your price, but like aim high, right?
I feel like it would be like a great avenue to encrypt viruses and hack thousands of people's computers, but maybe I just watch too many like dystopian futuristic movies. I don't know.
I'm right there with you. Have you ever seen Mr. Robot?
Yeah, I've been watching it with my partner. He's been on a couple times. I don't know if you've watched the show or not, but his name is
Robot?
Bara.
Oh, wait.
No.
Livestream? Yeah. Yeah. What's his name?
Carlos.
I haven't seen him.
He's also from California. I don't know what part of California you're from, but he's from San Francisco.
Oh no, I'm in Southern California. But yeah, Mr. Robot is one of the best shows ever made. I love it.
It's cool. There's a book too, right?
No, because that show was created by Sam Esmail, so he wrote and directed not all the episodes, but like most of the episodes. Yeah, it's like a completely new concept, and like there aren't really that many like pieces of art that are created like from one person and you know that are that good. Like, you know, I'd say the only other thing that was comparable is Breaking Bad. Like same thing. Vince Gilligan was just like, he wrote this and directed this, and it was just like there you could tell that he like had the beginning and the end already just like in his mind, and then he filled in the blanks and it was flawless. So Mr. Robot, I don't know, Mark, if you're familiar.
I'm not. That's why I'm intrigued by what you're saying.
You should watch it. It's so good.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime. It's did you ever see the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, the Queen biopic?
I did.
Yeah, so Rami Malek, the guy that played, he's the protagonist, I guess, of the show. And he runs like a hacker organization called S-Society. But it's kind of like there's so many like twists and turns in that show. So you start off thinking that it's going to go this direction, but it's just like it takes you for a lot of turns. But yeah, so basically like that show is like my dream come true because it's just about like hacktivists that basically they go after something called the Deus Group, which is basically the 1%, the like, you know, millionaire, billionaire, trillionaires. And they, well, I don't want to give anything away, but they're trying to take that down. They're like trying to end capitalism basically and redistribute wealth. So that's their goal, and it's great.
Yeah, it's been really good. I feel like I am really good at predicting what happens in TV shows, and that one is by far less so predictable than any show I've watched in a long time.
Yeah,
and I get bored of shows after a while because I'm like, I know what's going to happen. But if they're well made, like I'll continue watching them.
Yeah, yeah, it's got kind of a David Fincher vibe if you're a fan of his movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Tony's saying Mr. Robot is one of the best shows ever.
It's good.
Okay.
So good.
Have they only done 1 season, 2 seasons? How many?
No, it's 4 seasons, and that's it. Like it's just a contained story. It's not like they asked him to do season 5, but he was just like, "Why? I'm done with the story." Like,
yeah.
So it's.
I think I'm in season 3 right now, so I'm almost there.
Nice. Yeah. Season 4 is a tearjerker. Like, Like it's already an emotional show, but like you get to season 4, you're just like, Elliot. Anyway, I think I interrupted you, Mark. I'm sorry. I got very excited about Mr. Robot. We were talking about cryptocurrency, and then we were talking about NFTs. Oh, you said a guitarist friend of yours did that, made NFTs.
Yeah. That's no, and I just had mentioned that I had no idea what that was, and so no, I really was. I didn't have any other thought. I was just thanking you for giving me some idea of what the hell he was posting about, because I had no idea. And every time I see stuff like that, I just think, God, I'm getting that much older. That there's another thing that I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I know. I'm still struggling to hold on to like new stuff. Or like I told my boyfriend the other day, I'm like, I'm finally getting to that kids these days age where I'm just like, TikTok. What are they doing over on TikTok? What are these dances?
I have like Facebook, which I never use, and Instagram, which I'm like on daily, but I don't utilize, if that makes sense. Like, I post like one picture a year. I'm pretty consistent in that respect. I'm pretty active on like the stories, but it's really just me sharing like, hey, you should know this information about like what's happening. Leftist propaganda, essentially. But you know. Yeah, like I don't have Twitter, I don't have TikTok. I've got like 4 apps on my phone. I'm one of those people. It's like I grew up in the age of technology. Like there was always computers in our classroom, but it was still like these exist, but this shouldn't be what you rely on.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, like I still remember all my friends' phone numbers. I remember like all my locker combinations from high school. Like I'm pretty good with like directions. Google is great though. It's awesome. Also like the websites for school, like EasyBib, where you can make a bibliography really quickly, and like Quizlet, where it's got like a bunch of flashcards and stuff. Those are great. But other than that, I'm like, I don't see why we need more technology. I think it's great to have, and it's a great resource, but sometimes it's a bit much.
Yeah, like with everything, it's all about balance. And like being in the music world, it's kind of like I have no choice. I have to be extremely active on social media, and it does like cause burnout a lot because you like you have to be like pretending that you always have something super exciting going on. And it's like during a pandemic year, especially, you're just like, I have spent the majority of the week in my pajamas, so that's glamorous. You know what I mean? But like no one wants to see that. They want to be like, ooh, cool photo shoot. Ooh, new song. Ooh, look at who you're hanging out with. You know,
yeah, like those photo shoots from 5 years ago, but nobody's seen it because I wasn't famous then.
Totally. Or like I'll take like a shitload of pictures and edit them, and then I'll be like, I have content for the rest of the year. You know what I mean? I'll be like, just took this yesterday. Just kidding. 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of dancers have like websites and like self-promote, and ultimately that'd be great. But the couple times I've had jobs where they're like, do you want to run our social media? I'm always like,
no, hell no.
I would rather find a different job than do that. Like if that's an integral portion, like no.
Yeah, I'm like super self-conscious, so I feel like after like I'm also like self-conscious and self-aware. So like I feel like when I've been posting too often, I'm just like, who cares? Like, God, you're so vain. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's like this weird, like a lot of people tell you, like you need to be constantly posting because, you know, if you're not, the algorithm smashes your account down and nobody sees what you post and then you lose followers. And it's true. Like I noticed that like I don't post in like a week and I'll be like, you lost 10 followers. And I'm just like,
that's so strange.
I don't care, but also it sucks because, you know, when you're trying to build like a fan base, it's just kind of like, especially right now, it's all on the internet. And like, don't get me wrong, like I'm super thankful for the community I've met online. Like I've met some really awesome people, but you have to deal with a lot of creepy people, and you have to deal with like a lot of bots, and you have to deal with like, I don't know, like paying for advertisements for your post to be seen and all that stuff. Is just like It's just like, ugh.
I feel like there's a lot of people on the internet who use it as their outlet to be angry as well.
That too, and it is exhausting.
Which is so exhausting. Like the other day, I commented on a post and they're like, oh, we're like super inclusive with our size range. And I was like, actually, like, no.
Yeah.
Like, you're not. Your size range is really small. And someone was like, there are so many other clothing brands with big ranges. And I was like, I was just saying, like,
Yeah.
Don't say you're inclusive and have a huge size range when you've got this many sizes.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I don't mind advertising and self-promoting. Just don't claim things that aren't true.
False advertising. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's just like the internet is a very easy place to get into fights for no reason, because also there's like no inflection when you're typing. Like you could say the same thing twice, but one has a period and one has an exclamation point, and then or like an emoji, like a smile or like a wink or something, and then like immediately it takes on this different like tone. And like so many times people have told me that like, are you mad? Are you okay? And I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm gonna add a smiley emoji and a fairy and a sparkle after everything, just so you know I'm like, great mood.
That's how I feel with work emails. Like I have a pretty formal way of typing and not necessarily a super formal way of talking. And so I'll be writing a work email and I'll go to proofread it and I'm like, should I add an emoji? Like, are they going to know that I'm not mad? I'm just like trying to convey information. And then I was like, is it appropriate to put an emoji in a work email? I don't know.
Who knows? Like, because I used to be told that like it was almost even like unprofessional to put exclamation points after too many sentences in like a work or a professional email. And then now it seems like everyone does it, or smiley faces or something. So I don't know.
Here I am Googling like, how do you sign off on a work email? Like, kind regards, sincerely, respectfully. Like, what am I supposed to say?
Yeah. Totally. Like pretty soon we're just we're not even gonna have English anymore. We're just gonna have emoji talk. We're just gonna like communicate in Apple hieroglyphics.
No. Sincerely hope not. My cat came and sat on my lap. I don't know how she squeezed herself between the table and my legs, but she
Cats
did.
are water, that's why.
True.
They're formless.
I was going to say back to a silent koala, if you're still with us, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, please, on YouTube, because you said that this is a cool stream that you didn't want to know without the Instagram post. So, and Bara, what you were saying too, and I've talked about this during other fun tables, that it's such a love-hate relationship with social media for me. And just like you're saying, I feel like I have to, I'll look through my camera roll, like on my phone, and say, well, what do I have that I can actually post, like for Throwback Thursday?
I know.
I don't have anything that's interesting.
I know.
So do I just do something to be ironic? Oh, this is something I throw back from yesterday. It's like, I don't know. And then I'm somewhat guilty of when I'll see, like, if something gets a lot of likes or comments or whatever, it's like, okay, so what was it about that post that made people kind of engage with it? And you can't ever figure it out. But then I'll think, well, that was a concert photo from 3 years ago, so maybe I need to put more concert photos up. And I'll put another one up, and it doesn't get anything.
I know. It's so weird. It's so weird. I mean, I feel like social media is like life in general. Like, the people are always saying that, or like, you know, any kind of artistic career, it's like part of it is talent and hard work, but most of it is luck. Like, it's just like the right amount of people had to be logged on and saw your post, and that's all it comes down to. Like, I don't even know if there's a science anymore.
Yeah, I spent a little bit of time looking at like some of those YouTube videos with people talking about how do you get viewers and how do you get subscribers. Yeah. And everyone's got a different thing, and like after a while, it just all sounds like the same old shit. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing what I do, and hopefully an audience finds me. If it's organically, 1% at a time, so be it. That's kind of the way what I've been doing.
That's my attitude now too. Yeah.
It's the only healthy way that keeps me sane.
Yeah, because like, maybe if I was like obviously I'm not like super old or anything, but like I feel differently about even like attention on myself now than I did when I was like 20 years old. Like when I was 20, I was like, yeah, I'll post pictures on the internet and I hope everyone tells me I'm pretty. But like now it's like, please don't look at me. Listen to my music, but don't look at me. But like I'm the face of it. So of course there has to be like you know, some sort of like balance or whatever. But it's like a full-time job. Like if you want to get followers, or if you want to get YouTube views, or if you want to get whatever, like it's a full-time job. You have to like see who liked your, like see who likes bands that are similar to you, and then like go look at their accounts and follow them and like pictures and comment, and hopefully they give you the attention back. And then, you know, like you have to do that like every single day. And then that's only one platform, you know. It's like Instagram, you can do that, but then what about Twitter? Or like what about your YouTube? What about TikTok? What about Discord? What about Clubhouse? I don't even know. There's so many apps out there that I know that they exist, but they're like mythological creatures to me. Like I know Discord exists, but I don't know what exists there. You know?
I think I've only ever used Discord to like play video games with friends, because you can like stream the video game from your TV through the computer to other people's like devices. And so we've played, do you know like Jackbox games?
Oh, I love Jackbox.
It's so fun, right?
Yeah. Fibbage and what's that one? The TKO is my favorite one. The T-shirt knockout.
That's our favorite too.
Yeah. That one's like
I'm so bad at doodling in 30 seconds, but I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, like that one. I don't know. Mark, are you familiar with the games with the Jackbox? So Jackbox is like a group, like a collection of games that you can buy that are like good for when you have parties. Remember parties? Remember what parties are?
Like if you have a group of friends, instead of having to have controllers, you do it through your phone, which is really awesome.
Okay.
And so on the TV, you cast it to like your TV or whatever. Yeah. And so they have different games within that pack. So like there's one called Fibbage, where it's like everyone has to lie and everyone has to guess, like amongst all the lie answers, like you have to find the truth. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of like a backwards trivia. And then there's one that's called T-shirt knockout, where it's like everyone is prompted to like, they're given a prompt, and you have to just like doodle something super quick that comes to mind when you see that sentence. And then after that, you just have to like, for like 15 seconds or however long it is, you have to spitfire just like a bunch of random phrases. So like in the end, the computer groups a random drawing with a random phrase and puts it on a T-shirt. So, you know, like if you have
you like win by getting the most votes, and it's always like the most ridiculous. And you can buy them, like you can
have it made.
So my partner Carlos, like we play with his friends back in San Francisco because that's where he's from. And for Christmas, like he bought his brothers some of the shirts that like they drew, and like they're so bad. They're so bad, but it was so funny, and it's like nice to have like an inside joke like that, you know.
Wear it. Yeah. So
it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, all these like things that we're praising, they should be sponsoring us.
Yeah, no.
I keep like eating and muting myself so you don't hear the crunching.
I was like, wait, did we lose you? Oh no, my god, the etiquette.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. So we were talking about that one time. I had a guest on that was like an ASMR experience because they were chewing something that was like, and they had like an external mic that was really picking up every nuance of everything they were doing. Like, what is that? And I didn't even pick it up. And then I saw her chewing on some kind of dessert thing for like the longest time.
She's like, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I have like Carlos's external mic, and so I figured it would pick up a lot more than my computer mic. And I haven't eaten a lot today, and I'm drinking alcohol, and so I was like, I should at least eat like something.
Yeah. I always joke that I like chose the wrong career path because like people make so much money eating on camera. It's really weird. There is a market for anything.
Like every once in a while, I'm like, should I be selling feet pics? Like
feet pics or like slurping soup, like you know, you
like
name
stupid
it,
stuff.
Like, yeah.
Like if I burp in a microphone, would someone pay for that?
Yes, they will. Oh man, it's wild what people will pay for. Like I feel like it's just people that have like so much fuck you money that they don't even know what to spend it on anymore. They're like, I don't want to be a hoarder. I have too much stuff, so I'm just gonna give people money to eat on camera. I know.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm on low income for like everything right now. Give me your money. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All I have to do is eat food. Perfect.
Hey, well, look. I mean, after this is done, you might want to look into it. Your night gig.
Yes. Who needs sleep? I'll just eat food for 12 hours.
Exactly.
I see a silent koala saying I should give Bara my sponsor how-to book. Okay, what can you tell
Is
us
that real?
Are you being serious? Like what? Yeah, what is
Yeah.
this book? And then Ken's talking about Discord where his son lives on there all day long.
Guess me buying an ASMR mic was a bad idea. Oh man, I feel like that's how Bjork makes her music. She's just like mouth sounds, mouth sounds and electronic music. That's the name of my next album. You heard it here first.
Yes.
Exclusive.
Mouth sounds and electronic music.
Yeah.
That's gonna be what launches you into
I know.
the stratosphere.
Bjork's gonna hear about it and she'll be like, come to my fairy castle in Iceland.
What? My family had on a Thor the other day, which she had music in, and I was like, okay.
Wait,
Not Thor.
they had what?
Aquaman.
Oh, okay. I was like, way different. Hold on, I'm gonna switch because these are dying.
I feel like the first time I heard Bjork, I was like, whoa, mind blown. This is like such a crazy experience. And then by like the third time, I was like, oh, that's enough. Like, that was enough of that.
It's an acquired taste.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say I'm a massive fan because I just like haven't delved into her.
I go through like weird phases with music where I either listen to nothing at all or I'm listening to music like all day long and there's no in between.
Okay, well, thanks to Silent Koala. Yeah, there we go. They can get it on Amazon. Okay.
The evil Amazon. Mark, what are you drinking today?
You know what? Instead of going into my old beer cellar, I wanted something fresh. So, and I think I'm still a founding member of this brewery. I think when the pandemic hit last year, I think they decided not to like try to get people to renew because they knew people didn't have money. So I think I'm still a founding member, but it's Black Raven's tropical version of their Trickster IPA. So it's got like it's mango and pineapple infused.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's very more like a summer kind of thing, and I felt like something kind of like that. And I'm almost done with it. It's not bad at all. And I've been a part of them since 2009. I've interviewed their brewmaster and all that kind of stuff. Bo Bowman, hi Bo. And so
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I realized I was muted. I was like blah blah blah, but you can't hear me.
Oh
You're
yeah.
like, thank God she shut up.
No.
And Ken just mentioned that too. They couldn't hear you, but now everything's good.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I have this, and I have some beer from Frim that's in the fridge. We're out of Oregon in cans. It's a pale ale, but I don't know if I'm going to get to that or not because as I found out, I'm such a lightweight now. I don't drink. And part of it's for health reasons, and part of it's just that unless I'm around people, I just don't do it. So, but this is it's not as infused tasting as I thought. I know their Trickster IPA really, really well, so it's like I thought it was going to be much more like biting into like a grapefruit kind of a thing, and it's not. So, but it's all right, and it's only like 6.9% alcohol, so it's not super ABV or anything. Because I don't want to have a repeat of last time. From 2 weeks
It's all
ago.
about you this time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, make sure I don't start talking about someone used to beat me when I was 5 and all that.
Your mom would be like, Mark, no.
Then your mom would just come in and be like, that's not true.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. Or I know some people know this, and I don't know if people that are watching or in the chat right now know this, but that my mom, during the Alice tour, so Tony, if he's still here, he might know this. During the Alice tour, my mom was watching on her TV, and then she'd be trying to like maybe comment through the comment section on Twitch. And she's as technology savvy as I am, which to say she isn't. And she tried to put an emoji like maybe like a thumbs up or something positive. Instead, she ended up doing this. And showed up to everybody. And I saw that and I was mortified. And I'm like, Mom, I was texting Mom, you got to get that off of there. You got to do something. And she's like, she didn't even know what she had done. And said, yeah, oh no, yeah, the middle finger. And it was there. And she couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. I couldn't figure out how to get rid of it. So she says, apologize. I didn't mean to do that. I meant, to do like a happy face or whatever it was.
So cute. I love that so much.
we had like a ground rule for the rest of the tour. Like, you can watch all you want, but please don't enter the chat.
No.
It's actually a Freudian slip. She's like, I meant to do that.
You know what? You might be onto something. But yeah, when I started doing my own, it's like, hey, you can do whatever you want because I don't care. But that was not my tour. That was somebody else's tour. So I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, and I see Gizmo. Yeah, made that appearance. Wherever Gizmo went.
She's very curious.
There she is.
Oh. So cute.
How old is Gizmo again?
I think she's 6.
Okay. All right.
I think. I should know because she's my cat, but.
Cats live forever though, so.
So I would have gotten her, I think when I was 20, and I'm 25, turning 26. So I guess she's 5, turning 6.
Okay.
She's just little. She's a little baby cat. She's like 4.5, 5 pounds, like small. She's cute though. And she knows tricks. Next time I'll try and get her to do tricks for you guys. It's adorable. I taught her to sit. She gives high fives. She shakes. And she comes to her name. And she talks back when I say no.
You should make you should dress her up in a little circus outfit and make a video of her
I have one of those ruffly collary things for her, like a clown, because I just thought it was the funniest thing. There's this artist called Vanessa Stockard who has a couple cats, but she has a kitten named Kevin, and she always paints him in to her renditions of very classical paintings. It puts on that white frilly collar on him, and it's just the funniest thing. If you get a second, look up Vanessa Stockard. It's hilarious.
Oh well. You mean like one of those Shakespearean ruffs?
Yes.
Yeah. That's cute.
And Bara, do you have any kind of pets of any kind?
I wish. No. I was babysitting a dog last year for 6 months, and it was great. I love dogs, and I'm just one of those people that's I just think way too much about the responsibility. And even though I want one so bad, I'm also I don't know if I can keep it alive. You know what I mean?
That's why I can't have a goldfish.
Yeah, and I used
it
to live
doesn't
with a
speak
cat.
to me. I don't know if it needs food.
Exactly. It just dies, and then that's how you knew.
I'm really impressed. I have 2 plants that are alive right now. That's my accomplishment for 2021.
See, I'm a wizard with houseplants. I have a million of them, and they're all, they're thriving. They're great. But animals, I will. The thing is, I will treat them extremely well. But then I'll feel I'm home a lot, but I also my studio is not at home, so there's times when I'm gone for several hours and no one's home, and I can't bring an animal with me, and I would feel sad that it's just here by itself and maybe wrecking my furniture. We have carpet, that's
yeah, that's why I have a cat and not a dog. Is I'm out of the house so often.
Yeah,
there's just no way. For a long time, I had 4 jobs, and I just I didn't have a day off. I worked from 8, or I was out of the house from 8 a.m. to 3 a.m. And so I just there's no way I could have had a dog. But
how do you have the energy to dance and bartend and all that?
I think I was very young.
Yeah.
And I'm still fairly young. I'm 25. But
yeah, you are.
The year off has definitely made me reconsider not having days off. At first, I hated it because I don't have any hobbies. Like, I don't know what to do with my free time. And, like, the things that I like doing outside of dance generally revolved, like, outside of the house. Like, I like going on hikes and stuff like that. But, like, obviously that's everyone's first choice when it's like, oh, you're quarantined. They're like, oh, we can go outside still, though. So we're going to. So, like, trails in Washington were crowded.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what do I do with myself indoors? Like, I'm indoors to work. That's what I do indoors.
Yeah, but you should definitely have like at least, you know, a good solid day off where you could just catch up on sleep and like be lazy.
You know, one would think I would be lazy, but it's like, okay, my day off is laundry day, grocery day. I should clean the apartment. Like, maybe I should work on the Christmas gifts I've been working on since November and it's April.
Yeah, I'm with you though. I freak out when I don't have like I get really anxious when I see like my calendar filling up or something, or like I have so much to do. But then if I have nothing to do, I think I'm more anxious because I'm just like,
it's like double the stress. I'm like, something's wrong.
Yeah, I have to do something.
I can't be doing nothing.
My hands have to be moving. Have to be like my brain has to be, you know, like on.
I always joke that I'm like a Labrador retriever or like a dog. I'm like, please take me outside. Like, Carlos would get home. He was working for a while when I wasn't working, and so he'd come home from work, and I'd be like, "Do you want to go on a walk? Like, do you want to go outside? Can we do anything? Like, please."
He's like, hell no. He's like,
feed
hell
me,
no.
take me on walks. That's all I need.
And Rowan, how's the EMT life for Carlos so far?
It's good. It was not like his first area of interest, and so I think like there's an adjustment period because he has a degree in criminal justice, and so that's what he's more familiar with than like the medical field. This is the first time he's really studied like medicine ever before, and is now having to implement that in real life. And I can tell, like, it's been stressful on him, but I think he's slowly starting to adjust. They have, like, a kind of like an apprenticeship period. It's, like, on-the-job training, and you don't have a set schedule yet, which is great because, you know, people's lives are on the line. But I think he's waiting until there's, like, a little bit more security and a set schedule, and he, like, falls into the rhythm of things a little bit more to see how it fits into like his life goals and his interests and how he likes it. But I think it's been rewarding. He has new life skills. He's meeting new people. He's happy to be doing something productive. But we'll see if this is like a long time choice or just something he does for a while as a means to progress himself further in some other area of life.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like it's giving him a chance to like put his toes in the water and kind of see how this fits for him, or if it does or if it doesn't, kind of a thing. I know he's kind of posted
it's answering some questions either way.
Yeah, that's got to be. Even though there's pluses of not having a set schedule, at the same time, it's like if you're working with the same people, then you can kind of learn the job. But if you don't know who you're working with, and especially in that line of work where people's lives are on the line at times. It's kind of nice to know, like, well, this person is the lead person, this person knows what they're doing, and I'm the new person, so I can kind of follow their lead and do what I need to do, versus like, here's someone I've never worked with, I don't know their tendencies, I don't know what they're going to do in these situations. So that's got to be, just as being a first responder, that's got to be really a steep learning curve for sure.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, more power to them. I'm glad I'm not doing it, but I couldn't handle that kind of thing at all. I've done enough of the secondary trauma stuff in my professional career, so again, more power to everybody out there that's doing that type of work.
I'm happy that you're messing with your hair a lot too, Bara, because I like keep changing.
I'm just like, my bangs are so greasy, and I'm just like, I need a haircut.
I just got my haircut and I don't know what to do with it, and I think that's a lot of it. Is I'm like,
well, it looks nice.
Thanks. It's not normally straight, and I think that's what's throwing me off.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Mine hasn't changed at all. So.
Your eyebrows look great.
Oh, thank you. I just have them threaded, so you know.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been like this for God. It's been Yeah, 20 years now, because it was 2001 when I started shaving my head, which was
Oh,
not.
so you shave it.
I do shave it, but it's
Yeah.
not a far stretch from.
Okay. You just like accelerated the process. You're like,
Yeah.
You're like, fuck this.
Yeah, I knew a long time ago, so I don't want that Julius Caesar ring.
Yeah, you don't want
thing.
the fryer tuck.
Yeah, that.
It's fryers. I always think of fryers every time.
That's what I think of. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't want that, so I'll get it shaved, and yeah, I've just been doing that so I don't have to deal with wind or hat hair or sleep hair or any of that crap. It's just I don't have to pay a salon or any of that kind of stuff. But yeah, the eyebrows are important though, so
they are.
Do you trim them?
I don't know if I should say this. I have not done that kind of thing in a long time, but there was a period of time when Mark used to either get them waxed or actually get them threaded. So that's why I know about that. I was way into that whole thing, and she was going one day and said, "Mark, why don't you come with me?" I said, "Okay, why not? I don't know what this is about." And I remember people were actually, and there's a pretty big department store downtown Seattle, and people were walking by and kind of either like giggling or laughing or kind of staring at me, and I said, "I don't give a fuck. I'm just that's if I like this." And then it started getting good to me. I started liking it. So.
It's nice. Like doing stuff like that is nice, and I think it needs to be normalized amongst men. Like it needs to be normalized. Like there's nothing wrong. Like why is it weird that a guy gets his eyebrows waxed, but not weird that he goes to like a barbershop and gets his face shaved?
Like,
it's like
you want to take care of yourself, do it.
Exactly. Or like pedicures are nice. Like you don't have like some ratchet ass feet after that, like you take care of your feet. And
I've never had a pedicure in my life.
Pedicures are weird. It weirds me out. But like if you like it, then do it. You know what I mean? Like
I need like the calluses for dance, and I'm always worried that I'm not going to be able to like communicate that I need the calluses.
Yeah, we're like keep those.
Yeah, well, even like painting your toenails is not great for point shoes because like it acts as a moisture barrier, and sweating is actually really great with point shoes. Like you want your toenails to soften so you don't get like this fun guy.
Yeah,
you don't get bruised toenails.
Yeah.
This is from hammering my finger, but point shoes hammer your toes.
Yeah.
I lost 6 toenails last winter, I think. But it's because my shoes were fit incorrectly, which is why like point shoe fitting is so important, and I'm really excited to like be doing that and learning more about it. But
but sometimes like you have a point shoe that you think fit, like because also like your body changes size from like the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Like you swell and you like whatever. So
when I wore them through Nutcrackers, it was like 14 performances, and most of the time we had 2 performances in the day, and I got the shoes fit when I wasn't swollen, and I think that was the big issue is like my feet were swollen and then it no longer fit.
Yeah, or the other way around can be bad too, and it's just like you think that like, okay, this feels good, and then like you go to break them in the first rehearsal or the first class, and then you're just like, this was a big mistake. This was an expensive mistake.
Expensive mistake.
Yeah, and I already like shaved off the ends, and I like sewed the ribbons in and everything. So these are mine now. And like been like beating the shit out of them on the floor and stuff. Like you're like, I can't return these, so I got to deal with it. But it's like definitely
I have like whole chunks cut out of my shoe, so I'm like, I don't think I could like return it or resell it if I wanted to. Like there's 2 inches missing.
Yeah. Maybe like
here's
somebody here's part of the shoe. Here's 75%
than normal.
Yeah.
Hope that's cool.
Yeah, it's a very what do you call it, Goldilocks situation with the shoe.
Yeah. Point shoes, they're fun.
Point shoes, yeah.
They look pretty, they feel great and terrible.
Yeah.
Depends on the day.
Yeah. Ballet, yay.
This is what I trust to do to myself. Perfect.
That's actually really interesting to me. I had no idea. I mean, I had no idea. So
I could show you examples if you want.
Oh no, thank you. I'm good.
Yeah, there's like weird stuff.
This is a shoe where the trunk's missing. This is a shoe where it's not.
Yeah, and there's like so much stuff that you don't like see. You don't see what's going on underneath because like it depends on the dancer. But like some people or some dancers like to stuff their shoe with wool or like to like separate their toes or like to fill in certain spots. And then there's like toe caps or whatever that like or toe pads that like kind of help, but sometimes are worse. Like, I don't know. It depends on your mood. Like, it depends on how your foot feels that day. And it's just like a really weird thing. It's like kind of almost like, it's almost even kind of like a primitive thing. You know what I mean? Like, you're just like shoving your foot into this like weird box. Like,
yeah, I mean, unless they're made for you, there's a lot of manipulation that goes into it. And now when I'm fitting like 11-year-olds or 12-year-olds or 13-year-olds, people who are like starting out on point, and I'm having to tell them like the different things they should try in their shoes or like need to do to their shoes, they always look at me like it's so much work, and I'm like, you have no idea. Like, I've cut 4 inches out of this part, 2 inches out of this part. I cut this part down and resew it. I have to sew on this bit and this bit. I have to like shellac it, let that dry. I have to glue it, let that dry. And then it's like hoping that it works. I've done 3 hours of prep work.
Yeah.
And now I just have to hope it works.
And once it's done, it's done.
Yeah. There's no saving it.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like ballet is like one of those things where it's like, there's so much ugly stuff that you need to do for something to look pretty.
Yeah.
And you have to smile through the whole thing.
That's
You're like, my
I'm not
toenail
good
just
at.
fell off. But you don't know that because I'm smiling.
Like, dancing with a mask has been a godsend because I have a very like grumpy face naturally.
Oh,
and
you have RBF?
Yeah, so I'm like, you can't see it. It doesn't matter.
RBF, for those who don't know, resting bitch face.
I actually knew that, so I got one.
I keep having to like remind myself to smile when I'm not talking on these things. I'm like,
yeah, I'm like really worried, honestly, when we have to like, well, not when we have to, but like when we don't have to wear masks anymore. Like I have caught myself making the weirdest faces. Like I can feel it under the mask, and I'll just be like, man, when like I'm not wearing this anymore, like I'm gonna be like shopping at the grocery store, going like, like it's just like, ugh, man, what have masks done to us?
do you feel like really tempted to wear a mask anytime you see people now? Like I was like, oh no, I need to grab my mask to come and do this, and then I was
reflex,
like,
yeah,
wait a second.
yeah, it's kind of a reflex. I don't know, I haven't felt that need like over live stream, but definitely like even if I'm not anywhere close, like the one thing that I did do that was weird, like I went to go get a COVID test whenever, like months ago, and like I showed up when they were gonna give me the test, and I put my mask on, and I was like, wait, that's not how that works. I actually have to take it off for you to shove that Q-tip up my nose or whatever.
I had a dentist appointment, and I was like, how is this gonna work? Like,
you're like,
do you want me to cover like this part of my face?
Yeah.
I was like, it feels weird not covering anything. Tell me what I'm supposed to do.
I know it feels weird and it feels rude, but you're like, oh wait, like this is okay. Like this is their job. But did you have to go through like tests? Like you probably have to get tested and stuff before you see the dentist, right?
I didn't, but like because I dance, or not because I dance, but because I'm working right now for like my peace of mind, I generally do a COVID test at least like once a month. Especially since it's allergy season and I feel like crap all the time right now. I'm like, am I sick? Is it allergies? I don't know. Did I just not sleep last night? Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have another dentist appointment this week. My insurance runs out in 3 months.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yes. And so I'm like, do everything. Like, fix it all. Do it now, please.
For real. Don't even get me started on healthcare.
Universal healthcare is not a basic human right? What?
I know. At this point, I feel like universal healthcare and Wi-Fi, they're like two things that we need. Like, it's like they expect, if people, like, we're expected to have all these things, but like, can't pay for it. So
Wi-Fi is expensive.
It is. And like before it was a luxury, but now it's like like everything that has gone paperless too. Like, you know, you used to go apply to jobs in person and fill out the forms and stuff there, but like now they just make you go on the internet, and it's like if you don't have access to the internet, then you're shit out of luck. So
yeah, I've definitely like worked and managed places where people come in with a resume and I'm like, actually, we won't accept it unless you apply online, and I'm so sorry.
I know, it's so weird.
And like libraries aren't open because of COVID, which is like public printing, public internet, public access in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to access mine here in Shoreland all the time for that very reason before the pandemic. And here we are, even like recently, like for and I know, Rowan, you're getting your jab tomorrow, but you know, you've got that consent form that you have to print out and sign. I don't have a printer that works, so I had to have somebody else do it. And then, I mean, you can pay for it and all that kind of stuff, but luckily, you know, a family member is going to print it out. I'm just going to meet them and pick it up from them. But yeah, it's all these kind of things that if you don't have certain amounts of technology, yeah, you're screwed.
Man, I've never felt like more of a grown up than a few weeks ago when I bought my first printer. I was like, I can do this at home now.
Yeah, we got one during quarantine off of, I think, either Facebook Market, which is the only reason I have Facebook, or Buy Nothing or Free Cycle. Do you know what those ones are?
No, I only know of OfferUp and Facebook Market.
And I know Buy Nothing.
Buy Nothing's great. I would definitely look into it, Bara, if you haven't.
What is it called?
Essentially, it's called Buy Nothing. Like BUY. But you join the group within like a mile radius of where you live, like your neighborhood, and it's just people posting either like services they have for free, things they're trying to get rid of for free, or people asking for things. So like I got my haircut for free, which was great.
Oh wow.
And I've also furnished half of my apartment via Buy Nothing and gotten rid of a lot of like old dish sets and stuff like that, like things from my first apartment that I'm like slowly phasing out as I'm becoming more of an adult. But Free Cycle is essentially a very similar thing to Craigslist, but everything's free. So you can search by neighborhood or you can search by topic and stuff like that, and you can just join in general. So like I'm part of this Seattle group in general rather than like a neighborhood group. But then you could join whatever group is willing, or as far as you're willing to travel to pick up things.
Free Cycle, you said?
Yeah. So it's like Free Cycle, like bicycle.
Yeah. Oh, like recycle, but free. Wow. Look what they did there.
Those are like, honestly, I bought my coffee table through Facebook Market, but other than that, like most of my furniture, and my dining room table, but like most of my furniture and like half of my appliances have come from either like Free Cycle or Buy Nothing.
Yeah.
Such a good resource. People are like, I'm moving cross country. Do you want my microwave? I've had it for 2 weeks. And I'm like, yes, I do.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's expensive. Yeah, I've furnished my entire place with like Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, estate sales, like all that. Like I used to think I liked IKEA because it was just like the way that it's presented is just like, look at this room that you could have. And that's cool and all, but then like I saw this documentary about like how terrible IKEA is. And yeah, like I can't believe that people pay the prices that they pay for like literal cardboard furniture. So why you can get like way cheaper and solid wood off of some secondhand site.
Plus, I'd rather give something like a second home than people just leave it on the corner to get like disintegrated in the rain because it's Washington, or someone vandalizes it and it gets ruined because I live in a city, or just thrown away. You know, it seems so wasteful.
Yeah. Tell me about this rain. What is rain? It's rained like 5 times, 2 years.
September until the end of May, sometimes into June, it just rains.
Wow. Okay.
Nobody owns umbrellas, but we all own rain jackets. And so essentially you just wear a rain jacket for 90% of the year, and it rains for a couple hours and you don your rain jacket and then it's dry for the rest of the day. Or sometimes it rains all day and you just hope for the best and you're happy you have a raincoat.
So that's what I've always been curious about, because like I haven't ever been to Washington, but I've been to Oregon, and like I've been there when it rains because it rains most of the time.
Yeah.
And I like you can spot the tourists because they have an umbrella. And it's just like I found that like really funny how like I was just like screaming because I'm like, I'm in California and I'm wearing a hoodie and it's pouring and I'm all wet and I can't get my umbrella to open. And everyone's just like, what? They're just like,
it rains every day. It's fine.
yeah.
No, it's funny because like Seattle, you used to be able to spot tourists that way, and now it's like you can spot Amazon employees that way because they give all the Amazon employees these giant golf umbrellas, and so it's not a normal sized an umbrella. It's huge, and they all walk like 4 across down the sidewalk, and you can't get past them, and they're walking really slow, and they're on their phones, and it's super annoying.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't like about umbrellas in big cities. It's like rude because you're just blocking the whole. You're like bumping into people with your stupid umbrella, and yeah, but like I never wondered if it was like because people say that like it gets depressing up there or whatever because it rains all the time. But like, does it just kind of rains periodically, right? It's not like it's mostly solid rain all the time.
I would say it rains a lot, but it definitely rains like periodically. Like the last 4 or 5 days have been dry, but then we're supposed to get some rain tomorrow, but I think it's only for a couple hours. And then we have a couple dry days, and then it's supposed to rain for like 3 or 4 days straight, but at the same time, it's only going to rain for like a couple hours a day.
Yeah.
But you just kind of have to like plan for the rain always.
Yeah.
And know that like
don't do your hair.
Probably be overcast. Yeah, I like the concept of styling your hair is so foreign to me because I just like
that's why grunge took off up there.
Yeah, like I have naturally wavy curly hair, and so like if I try and style it, it's just gonna get frizzy. It is.
But that's funny because like I do too. Like I have naturally wavy, coarse, curly adjacent hair. And like, I find that like when it is humid, my hair looks better because it actually curls more. Like when it like down here in the dry weather, like my hair just frizzes, so I always end up like straightening it or something. But like
I feel like Hermione from Harry Potter or like the girl from Princess Diaries.
Oh yeah, I forgot
just
her name.
I think her name's Amelia in the movie, but the actress's name is Anne Hathaway.
Yeah. I think
Seattle from June through September is one of the most beautiful places in the country. Rest of the year overcast and dreary. Yeah, I mean, like it's nice over the summer. Washington's weird though because we have like the divide between the mountains, and like the East Coast is like a desert sauna awful place, and the West Coast is halfway decent, except for everything dies, and it's kind of sad looking. Because it's used to having so much moisture, and so everything's just like brown and dead. But I think like last year was the first summer I've spent in Washington since I was like 14, because I normally like go away to train over the summer, and I always choose the worst places. Like I go to somewhere that's like 114 degrees with like 90% humidity, and they don't let you outside because they're like, you're gonna faint on the sidewalk. And I'm like, I'd rather be outside than on the 5th floor, thank you. Like
the humidity though, that's what gets you, because it's like it gets like 100 and something degrees here a lot, but it's like it'll be the opposite. It's like 115 with 9% humidity, so I can't have any plants outside because all my plants just go,
they just like shrivel up.
I have no water. So it's like I don't know. Like I did a semester abroad in Paris, France, like back years ago. And that was the best time of my life. I was like, weather, wow.
4 seasons, wow. This is great.
Yeah. And I was like overcast and rain, and I got to wear jackets. Like for us in Southern California, wearing a coat, that was a rare thing. Like I have a couple coats and I have not touched them all summer, excuse me.
So
like
many coats.
Winter. Yeah, I don't get to
like
do
half
that.
of my closet is coats, and then it's the coats that go under the coats, like hoodies or sweatshirts, or like a sweater that's also kind of a jacket, or like an insulated layer, like coats, undercoats, sweaters, other wardrobe.
So yeah, I mean, I like that. Like I like layering and like wearing hats and all that stuff, but like Southern California cramps my style. I don't know. I talk a lot of shit, but it's like it's home also. You know, it's like it's got its perks, which is why it's like $1 million to live in a shoebox.
Yeah. I mean, cold weather's nice because I feel like you can always put on more clothes, but it gets to a certain point of hot that you're like, I can't socially take off more clothing than I have on.
I do.
And I'm sweating through what's already on my body. Like, I already look mostly naked, so.
And everybody stinks, and you can't wear makeup, and everything's sticking to your face.
And point shoes melt.
Yeah. Oh, God. And you can literally pass out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not fun. I like all sorts of weather, but I think Washington has a fairly mild climate, and I'm pretty accustomed to that. Like, I spent a summer in Colorado where it's super dry, and my joints were like, no.
Oh, yeah.
My grandma was like, dry weather should be great on your joints, and I was like, I got bursitis. I don't know what to tell you. They like moisture.
Yeah. I have arthritis, so I can tell you that the dry weather does not do good.
But like, people tell you it'll be great for your joints, but then you go there and you're like, I'm in a lot of pain.
Yeah, and also people say that the cold is bad for your joints, and I'm like, I feel worse in the summer because I feel like my body's just freaking out, and it's just like I need shelter and water, and
really, I've had like stress fractures in my foot, and so like if I step down in the winter, like I can feel them creak.
Oh gosh,
it's really uncomfortable. It's like super unsettling. You're like, this might break today, it might break tomorrow. We don't know.
Well, then again, I don't know what like super cold is, you know, because like for us, we're like it's like a novelty when it's like 38 degrees. We're like, holy shit, the world is ending. Like
at 48 to 50 degrees in Washington, people wear shorts. Like that is warm.
Yeah,
but it's crazy because like over the summer it gets in the 90s, but like people are like, oh my god, it's 50 degrees. That's so warm. Like we can wear shorts, and I'm like, I will be in sweatshirts until it hits 80. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's cold. I'm a cold person though. Like my temperature runs cold. If I get a fever, it's usually undergrade.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I'm a weirdo.
You're a reptile.
Yeah,
you're a snake. You're a cute little Komodo dragon.
Perfect. Oh my god, have you seen that horror movie from like 1980?
Which one?
Komodo. It's really funny. They're like on an island. It reminds me of Jurassic Park, but like it's Komodo dragons, and they're like terrified of them. And I'm like, they're really slow. Like they're poisonous, but they're pretty slow. It's fine.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fine. Just like drive away. It's okay.
Do you like horror movies?
I like some of them. I have like a weird thing with horror movies. Like if it's gory, I don't mind it, but I think sometimes it can be too much in the sense of like it didn't need that much gore, but it doesn't scare me. It's like the really hyper realistic ones that get me. Like I can watch paranormal ones, I can watch like murder and stuff like that. But if it's like, oh, your neighbor has been stalking you for 3 years and is now going to kill you, I'm like, has my neighbor been stalking me for 6 years? I haven't lived in the same place for 6 years, but it's definitely probable.
Yeah. Ken, I live in Orange County in Southern California, and we do not have air conditioning.
Yeah, Washington doesn't believe in air conditioning.
Not true.
Wisconsin doesn't either, which is stupid because it gets so hot there.
Yeah, it gets super humid there, right, too?
Yeah, it was 114. We were on the 5th floor with no air conditioning. They wouldn't let us outside, and it was so humid. The paint was bubbling off the walls, like it had pockets of water in it. And they were bringing ice up on the hour to try and cool us. And legitimately,
right away.
From sweat, I lost like 10 pounds that summer. I just couldn't retain, like I was so hot. My stomach was upset and I couldn't eat food and I couldn't sleep and we were just sweating all the time. And then I was dancing from 8 a.m. to like 6 p.m. anyway. And it was awful.
You were having like a black swan summer.
It was the first summer I went and trained away from home too. And I was like the fact that I went to any other summer trainings after that is amazing. It was so hot.
Wow.
I did not go back to Wisconsin.
Yeah. Sorry, Wisconsin. No offense.
Doesn't have much going for it, to be honest.
it has cheese, I think. And it also has actually some pretty good musicians out there, but that we have those everywhere.
I can't eat dairy, so the cheese was not a draw.
I know. I don't eat dairy at all, so I don't know shit about Wisconsin.
The Great Lake was there, which is kind of cool because it really looks like the ocean. Like you couldn't see Canada if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It just looks like water.
That's cool.
I skinned my knee really bad and I had like scar tissue underneath it because it never healed because it was so humid. Thanks, Wisconsin.
God. Wow, you suffered.
It was fine.
When was that?
I was like 15, so
like 10 years ago.
Yeah. It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
It was gross because like every time your leg bends, the scab would just break open and it was so humid, like the scab never really fully like dried up. So for 6 weeks I just had like this green oozy pus knee. It was disgusting.
Oh my god.
It was so gross.
Yeah. It's okay.
Oh, childhood.
You've healed from that trauma.
Oh yeah. The scar tissue's finally broken up. We're good. It's my good knee. The right one's the good one. The left one is garbage.
Oh, we always have a good side.
Yes.
No Ken, no AC. I have like these like units that I put in the window, but there's no AC in my apartment. So.
It's like, does your electric bill get so much higher come the summer from the AC units?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're like energy savers, so they're not like super bad, but it gets super high in the winter because we have like the only heater that we have is like this super old like radiator.
We have a radiator. Can you see it?
Yeah. Yes.
There?
I see it.
Oh,
yeah.
that one.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's something like that. I don't know. This place was built in like the 60s or something.
Ours was built in the 20s.
Oh, I love I love 20s architecture.
Yeah,
I wish
like
it was
the
that old.
ceilings are really high, and it's got like the Art Deco molding and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
I'm a fan, except for the radiator doesn't turn off like it's supposed to, and so in the middle of the night, it sounds like little elves are just like hammering away.
Oh, that's cute, but probably really annoying when you're trying to sleep.
I'm used to it now, but it took a little bit.
Do you have a studio or do you have a 1-bedroom? You're like, there's a door, but I wouldn't call it a bedroom.
Well, it's weird because we have like this walk-through closet, and the closet looks like it had 3 doors, and now it has 2. Like it has one of those really fun, like revolving James Bond doors, like a really wide. It's almost like the size of our couch. However, they nailed it shut, so I can't actually revolve it, which is sad. Like so much of me wants to just like pry the nails out and have the time of my life.
I want to know the story behind that.
Right? I'm like, why would you put that in? I think it was like a hotel before, or like maybe a boarding house before it was an apartment building. Oh, it's definitely haunted.
Yeah.
For sure.
Spooky.
But like the closet or the walk-through closet goes from our like living room into our bedroom, which is amazing. This is the biggest closet I've ever had. Like I have a desk in there. It's great. But the entrance in our bedroom doesn't have a door, but our bedroom itself has a door. So I'm like, it's a 1-bedroom.
It's a 1-bedroom. Yeah, we'll call it that.
We've got windows in a closet, so I think that qualifies as a bedroom legally, right? Like you have to have windows in a closet.
That qualifies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. I'm like super like fascinated by old buildings like that. Like I just randomly came across this YouTube video of why can't I think of his name? Man, I'm so turning into like, you know that one guy from that one show?
That's me.
Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. I'm sure you guys know who he is, right? So he played Jesse on Breaking Bad. And like he was doing, it was like the Colbert show or something like that. And he was sitting in one of the rooms in his house, and then he just like casually mentioned that like his house was built in the 1920s and it had a speakeasy in the house.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So like he took the camera like kind of into the area where the door was to the speakeasy, and it just looked like a bookshelf, and then the bookshelf moved, and then behind the bookshelf it looked like almost like a vault door, and then you'd have to open that, and behind that there was another door, and then when you open that door, there was a trap door beneath, and then there was a staircase that would lead you down into the speakeasy. And I'm just like, that is so cool and so creepy at the same time that you have that in your house.
Yeah, Carlos stayed in a town in Arkansas. He was performing for like a ballet company out there for a while, but the whole town used to be like mob central. And so most of the buildings had like secret hallways and secret passageways and like underground hidden floors and stuff like that. And while he was there, he sent me like so many videos of the different buildings he would go into. And I was like, these are so cool.
Yeah, they just don't make shit like that anymore. They don't have
like as a kid, I always wanted a secret hideaway.
I always wanted one of those like those bookshelf walls that you're like, you pull the right book out and then you're like, I was like, did you see the movie? I know they didn't have necessarily like one of those, but like, did you ever see Casper?
Yeah, I was watching Young Frankenstein the other day, and they had one of those.
Awesome.
I think it was the candlestick. It wasn't the.
Yeah, I think it's candlestick on a sconce, right?
Yeah.
Like, on the wall, yeah. But like, there's that little like roller coaster-y kind of thing in Casper. I'm just like, how cool would it be if you had one of those like secret bookshelf doors, and then you just have your own private roller coaster.
I feel like in the Addams Family, they've got like fun extra rooms too.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I love those movies.
They're so good.
They're so fun. And it's just like, please stop making different versions. Like we have.
The first one was good. We don't need to ruin it.
Well, I really like the show from the 60s too. Like I don't know if you ever watched the TV show.
I feel like I've seen a couple episodes, but I've never like sit down and watched it. Like The Munsters is something I need to watch too.
Oh, I love The Munsters. Yeah, they were on at the same time. And it's like so super weird to think that they were like on in the 60s when you didn't think that many people would be into matter like that, right? Like weird.
I mean, the Twilight Zone was kind of around the same time too, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, all the shows came out in like the 60s. So yeah. But the Addams Family, they had the TV show, and then they made the movies in the 90s. And then there were like this weird like TV show that came after that, and I don't know. Then I heard like Tim Burton's making another one, and I'm just like, why is anybody letting that man make movies anymore? Like,
I mean, he's done some good stuff, and then he's done some other stuff.
Oh yeah, like some of my favorite movies are Tim Burton movies, but they're like Beetlejuice, like 1988, Pee-wee.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, Mars Attacks. Those are all really good and quirky, different movies. But like that Willy Wonka movie, I don't know about that.
I grew up with the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka, and I just was like not ready for Johnny Depp to be Willy Wonka. I guess I don't know.
And like really weird CGI, and then he just kind of like kept with that like weird CGI look, and like
he came out with a lot of. Yeah, there's a lot of claymation movies he came out with too, though.
Oh, I haven't done too many of those. He did Corpse Bride. Also, like
Corpse Bride, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Frankenweenie, Coraline.
Coraline was not him. That was a Neil Gaiman.
Oh yes,
creation.
That's his book though.
No,
I thought he like had
Neil
a hand in it.
No. I think you might be confusing it with like, because everybody calls The Nightmare Before Christmas a Tim Burton movie, but it's not. He wrote the book. It was Henry Selick that did.
Tom
Selleck, by the way, he directed that.
You lost all credibility.
Yeah.
done for the night.
That's his name. Yeah, so he directed it. Tim Burton wrote the original book that it's based off of. And I'm sure he was a producer on the movies or whatever. But that's actually not his movie. He did not direct it. Fun fact. Use that in your next Jackbox session.
For those like trivia questions, I feel like there's a bunch of random things in my head that like is knowledge that doesn't pertain to life, but I have it.
Yep. Yep.
You just described how I am pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
It's not important to anything, but I know it. Yes.
I actually had a guest ask me that. So, Mark, how do you remember all these things? I was like, I don't fucking know. And that's the stuff that has no bearing on anything.
I had like a prescription drug commercial running through my head the other day, and I was like, really? Like, this couldn't be a song? Like, I don't even know what this like.
Wow, that's a new one.
Is for, but it's running through my head and it's happening.
Oh no, it's working. The advertisement is working. Later, you're like, I need Cymbalta. I don't know what it's for, but I need it. I hate that there are so many ads on YouTube now too.
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just trying to watch something the other day, and every 5 minutes or whatever it is, some commercial pops up in it. It's like, oh my gosh.
I know, and it's always like cut in at the weirdest time. So you're like, wait, did the video jib out, or like, no, it's an Uber commercial or whatever.
Oh,
what happened here? My little pillow fell.
Your pillow?
I use one for my back. My lower back gets kind of messed up sometimes.
You mean one of these? Giving away my secrets.
That's what I need. No, I just have a little throw pillow.
Costco.
Yeah, it's all about that lumbar support.
My spine is messed up beyond repair, so I'm just slouching like an amazing human being right now.
You're just like, it's only a matter of time before this is irreparable, but live it up till then.
I think I fractured it when I was 17, and it's just never been the same.
Your spine?
Mm-hmm.
What did you do?
I had a teacher force me into a position.
Oh no. Overstretched?
Yeah. Yeah. Essentially, if your body was a C shape, this was my head. This was my sternum. And this was my spine and my bottom and my legs, and then my toes were over my face, in front of my face. Yeah. And so I could get to this position naturally, and then she pushed my legs forward, and I just fractured my back.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
It was great.
You're this is a contortion class.
So now there's certain positions I can't go in without my lower half just going numb.
Wow.
Because it pinches my spinal column.
Yeah. Do you ever get sciatica because of it?
No, I can actually pop my what's that one? The very bottom one. Coccyx really easily. And so I've never had sciatic nerve pain. I think because I've also hurt both of my hips. So that it just evened out.
Yeah, it evened out. Wow.
So I tore all the connective tissue in my right hip, and then my left hip I dislocated pretty badly, and yeah.
Yeah.
Help yourself enough and it evens out.
I have 3 slip discs. That's no big deal.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been taking I started exercising last year, and it actually has helped a lot, surprisingly. I think the whole it all started I got a personal trainer back in 2013 or something, because I was like, man, I'm gonna get buff, I'm gonna go hard. But I had gone from exercising, I was I'd exercise 0 to athlete. My trainer went way too hard with me right away. He was like, yeah, I think you can deadlift 100 and whatever pounds. Go for it. Yeah. And I was just like, no, I can't. Like, you can do it. So I kind of just did what he told me. And one time I was just I could just feel my back go and then my sciatica started. Thanks, trainer. Yeah. So know your limits for sure. Don't try to impress yourself. Don't let people tell you that you can do it if it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I feel that's so much becoming older and more mature is knowing when to say no.
Yeah, that was also when you're younger, you're you can bounce back quicker from things you do to fuck up your body. But
yes,
start getting in your late 20s.
Slowly learning that.
Yeah, in your late 20s, you're I can't even stay up that late anymore.
I broke my ankle, not this last summer, but the summer before. And it's, a year and a half in. And I'm why is it still angry?
Your what? What did your ankle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, because you use it every day too, so it's kind of
Yeah, that's
impossible to
true.
yeah. That's
I
the
mean,
thing, it's like-
quarantine was great. It was a good period of healing, but it's
Yeah.
frustrating that it's still an issue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take it from the old man. Everything you're saying is absolutely true. I'm like twice your age in some cases, and you need to know your limits and know them as soon as you can finally figure that out, because you're going to be paying for that all these years later.
Yeah.
And I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
But then, like, in the back of my mind, I have this fun, like, almost a second guessing kind of feeling where I'm like, the thing that makes young dancers and young artists so great is that they're fearless and they don't know their limits and they try so hard and they're willing to push themselves and put themselves in those positions that, like, I wouldn't necessarily be willing to. And so it's hard to, like, find a happy medium of, like, pushing yourself but still being, like, conscious of your decisions.
Totally. And then, like, you're like, ballet isn't necessarily known for being like a laid back activity.
My body hates it, but my heart loves it.
Yeah, but I mean, even with like the expectations, I mean, it also like depends company to company, but like they're not known for being that lenient on people's bodies, and like your weight, your technique, your work ethic, like all of that kind of stuff, and like. That's another thing that I know that like that kind of those like high expectations kind of like turn students or like practicers of whatever craft it is into people that always want to push their limits. So like you don't really even feel okay with just being like, well, that was my best, because even like your best might be great, but you feel like you can do more. Like that's like.
But the 13-year-old in Russia is twice as amazing as I am.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly. So you're like, I'm not 13, but whatever. I got to push myself harder. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's like it just comes with like being an artist, that like that kind of need to just like see how much better you can get, and then it's very rare that you feel accomplished with what you did do versus what you feel like you could do.
Yeah, I think that's like what's kept me in the arts, if I'm being like perfectly honest.
Because you're curious to see how far you can go.
Yeah, there's like not an end goal in sight, and so you're like, I have to keep trying.
Yeah, totally. But it depends on the person. But like for some people it can be really toxic, or some people it can be motivational. It just depends. But yeah.
I like my eyebrow itches. Better.
That's a sign you need to stop, Rowan. when your eyebrow
one.
You've hit the ceiling. That's
get one of your apartment ghosts to scratch it.
Oh, I think what Bara was saying is true just in general, because we were kind of talking about that before we went live, about that just as an artist in general, you're never satisfied with what you do. You keep pushing because you want to get better, and you can get better. And then sometimes you do, and then sometimes you take a couple steps back, and you're like, well, fuck. And then where's that balance? And again, I'm like twice the age of Rowan, which is sad to say. But I was kind of like, where do you find that balance? I'm still trying to find it all these years later. So as an artistic-minded person, I don't think it's there. But at the same time, I also know that you only have so many years to live. So it's kind of like, well, I want to do these things. I want to keep pushing. I don't want to just succumb to like, okay, that's it. I can't do that. I've hit the ceiling. I better take a month off from Eclectic Arts or whatever. It's like, well, no, I just need to slow down a little bit, which is hard. It's easy to say, hard to do.
Yeah.
I'm a awful guilty example of that when I say, okay, I'm only going to do like a couple interviews this month because I got too much other shit to do and other things are suffering. And then they say, no, I got 20 because, the opportunity was there. So let's take advantage of it. And I can do better. I've been wanting to talk to so-and-so. But and it goes back and forth. I don't think there's any clear answer to any of this that we're talking about, that other than in your case with ballet, if it's injury or body kind of thing, that you might get to a point where it's like, all right, body's saying you're done.
Yeah.
And
that's the hard thing is like, I'm so young, but also not for a dancer, and like I want to dance as long as I can because it's such a short like career path. But at the same time, like I don't want to make choices that impact that and make it shorter
because you injure yourself.
Because I injure myself, but also that's who I am. Like I'm probably just going to keep injuring myself because I would rather try so hard I hurt myself than not try enough. I always do better.
I know, it sucks. It's like this double-edged sword, for sure.
Yep. Oh well, I'm happy. That's what matters, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it is like you're right about how like it's a short career, you know. So like you gotta give it your all, but definitely if you're like you're injured, I don't know if like dancing on a broken ankle is like the best idea.
I mean, I didn't know it was broken until like 6 months later, so there's that.
Oh my gosh. So that means
I was like, you know what, it hurts a lot, but it's probably fine.
Yeah. You're like, it always hurts a lot. Everything hurts. Life is pain.
Then I got x-rays and they're like, yeah, your fractures are healing. And I was like, fractures?
That's actually what made me quit ballet, which means I'm a baby. But like I was rehearsing for something and I like fractured my foot and I was like, well, I'm never gonna dance again. And then I was like, nah, I'm just never gonna dance again because I'm over it. Like I started doing other things. And then I went back to dance, but different kind of dance. So yeah. I don't know.
Do you have purple in your hair?
I do, yeah. But it's like you can barely see. Thank you. Yeah, we're just changing hairstyles here. No big deal. We both come in like
it's changed, I think, like 4 times throughout this. It's fine.
I love when you wear your hair up for too long, it just like pulls.
It pulls and I look bald and it is what it is.
But you wear your hair in a bun a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm not used to having my hair down. Like having my hair down stresses me out.
Yeah. My ballet teacher would yell at me all the time because I hate how I look with my hair just like Miss Trunchbull pulled back, you know? Like, I hope you get that reference. Like, yeah. And then so I would like wear like my bangs out or whatever. And she'd be like, no, you have to pin it back. And I'm like, I feel so ugly. I can't concentrate.
Especially with like light colored hair, like under stage lights, I have to put like makeup in my hairline so I don't look bald.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. Because otherwise it just like fades and I just look like.
Because you have light hair and light skin. So it's just like, yeah. Wow, makeup in the hairline. Never thought about that.
And then you're like, I'm probably going to sweat it down my face, but it's fine. I'd rather sweat brown than be bald. Yeah. I don't know.
So all these interesting things that people are learning about that had no idea, like if they've ever seen any kind of ballet performance, what's been going on behind the scenes or even on the stage, you know, in terms of makeup or
that chunks out of our shoes. We're probably half broken. We put makeup in our hairlines. It is what it is.
Yeah, the half broken thing is like, I mean, I like always know that that's the case, but I just can't believe that that's the case because it's just like you're when these dancers perform and they look like they're doing it effortlessly and they're smiling through it, and I'm just like, man, and I freaking throw a bitch fit anytime that like, you know, my foot hurts or something.
I've like fractured my ribs on stage before and like finished dancing.
How do you
and
do
danced
that?
through like 104-degree fevers, like so much.
Wow.
Hanging from her hair, that sounds so awful. I wonder if you have like, I don't know how you could put a support in, but you know, like some sort of like something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Lindsay Sterling's very talented, though. I do like her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, Ken, I haven't seen that either. I don't. I guess I'll have to look for it later. Sounds awful.
Sounds terrifying, but also mesmerizing.
I feel like there was an other artist that did that recently too.
Yeah, I feel like there's I feel like a dancer did that recently.
Yeah, or was it like FKA Twigs or something like that? Like one of those pop artists did that. But yeah, it's like what you were saying earlier about like the songs. Like you feel like every song is kind of just like the same song or whatever. Like I feel like nowadays, since it's a lot easier actually to put your music out or like make videos and stuff, like you are going to accidentally rip someone off that you don't even know exists. And that's like
Especially because like in arts in general, like you have to try and market like your ideas and stuff so hard. Like maybe that idea was pitched to another company before it was bought, and then they're like, wait, what are the ideas in our little list here? Oh, there was that one 3 months ago. Like, let's try that.
Yeah, but I don't even really believe that there is anything original anymore. It's like you're just the sum of your influences. So like it all depends on the lens. Like what makes a good artist to me is like not even necessarily the ideas that they have, but like the lens through which they filter it. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
The arts world is like so small too. Like you've probably talked to someone who knows 12 other people before you actually get your idea out there. Oh, there's Carlos.
Yeah.
Candid. Like I'll meet a new dancer and then it's like, oh, we have 12 mutual friends, or like you've danced with all these other people that I've danced with. And the same even in like the restaurant industry, like I'll join a new restaurant in Seattle and they'll know like half of my previous coworkers, and I'm like,
yeah,
the world is a weird place.
Yeah.
It's super huge and super small.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Or like you're just like that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon effect, you know? Like it's really weird.
Yeah. I did I'm trying to think. I did an interview with a director that was yesterday, and of all the things, he was in Cyprus, off of Greece. And
that's Cyprus. I'm just like, Cyprus, California? The nice one.
They're over there shooting a documentary, and then they needed some funding for their film, and lo and behold, there's a gal that was from there that had passed away, but she was heavily into the arts, so she put up all this like millions of dollars, and you could not apply for it. You had to be asked to apply for part of the funding. These guys ended up in New York, and one of the sons of that lady who's in charge of that money, they ran into him, and it turns out he was actually in Cyprus when they were filming the film, and they had no idea that he was there. And then he went back. He went back and looked through the footage, and it was like, I actually have footage of him there on the beach with his wife from like 3 years ago. So he made a little clip of it. He sent it to them. And so, of course, he's like, oh, go ahead and fill out an application, and we'll see if we can help fund your film. And they gave him $53,000. But, I mean, it goes back to that whole thing. You never know. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. You just never know who the hell is around you. And you have no clue. And now they have their film out.
Yeah. And then, like, in Southern California, too, like, we're all kind of jaded because, like, celebrities are just everywhere all the time. Or like one of my close friends works for Marvel, so she's like met all of the Marvel actors and like whatever. She works with Kevin Feige, and like they're like another one of my friend works in wardrobe for TV and film. So like she's like, oh yeah, the other day I got to work with who and who, so and so. I bought lingerie for so and so, and it's just like it's just like so normal. And like, you never know like who, like how many degrees you are away from somebody famous or whatever.
Very true.
That's why you gotta be careful what you say about people.
That's true too.
Because Kevin Bacon himself might hear all the shit that you're talking about him.
Oh my God. Is he still with Kira Sedgwick? Is that still his wife?
I have no idea.
Honestly, I feel like I saw him in Footloose and like 2 other films since then, and that's probably been it.
Wow.
In my brain, he's perpetually the age of himself in Footloose.
Yeah, he's forever that many years old.
Yeah, like it was weird seeing the guy who plays Luke Skywalker in like the new Star Wars film, Mark Hamill. I was like,
you're like, he's
you don't look like that. Like,
I know. He's a great dude though. He's super funny and like good sport. But yeah, like totally. When I first saw Mark Hamill like today years old. I was like, wait a minute. I'm not the same guy.
Like, I moved away from home when I was 19, so my baby sister was 8, and she is now 14, turning 15, but in my head, she's perpetually 8. Like, the fact that she's in, like, high school is weird. I'm like, no. I don't think so.
The older you get, the weirder it gets, kind of. Like, my baby sister's 27 now, and it's just, like, so weird because you're just like, well, that's really young, but it's like you're not, you know, the 6-year-old that I remember or whatever.
Yeah.
And then it makes you feel ancient.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
She'll like complain about like how hard her life is, and I love her to death. And I remember having similar complaints when I was her age, but she's also like the youngest of 5, and so her life is by far the easiest. Like, one, my parents are the oldest, so they're in like the best financial situation and life situation than they've ever been. But also, like, she had 4 siblings in front of her to wear them down.
Yeah.
Like, she has it easy.
Yeah. And then she's got all the hand-me-downs from all the older siblings. So
yeah. And like, you can complain all you want, but when you tell me that I can't relate to your complaints, like, I don't want to hear it. Like, you have no idea the shit I put up with.
Yeah. Man, I wouldn't know. I'm the oldest too. Like, we're not, you know, there's only 2 of us, so
yeah. She's great, but I'm like, don't complain that you don't have a phone at 14. Like, I didn't get a phone until 18.
Be thankful that you don't have a phone. You don't,
right?
Like, you're gonna hate it one day.
Anyway.
I don't know. It's weird. Like
you have the internet on every other device. Why do you need a phone?
Yeah.
We didn't even have the internet all the time when I was a kid. Like,
I know. I remember when people would send me YouTube links, and I'm like, sorry, my parents aren't rich enough to afford the internet on which I could watch this. So,
like, I have dial-up. Give me an hour.
Mom, get off the phone. Yeah. When MySpace rolled around, my mom was pissed. I was like, always holding up that phone line. So I was like,
I never had a MySpace.
Mom, I'm talking to vampires.
I think I was like right at the cusp. Like, Facebook came out when I was
25, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm 31, so I lived through the MySpace era.
Like, most of my friends had MySpace, but like, I wasn't even allowed on the internet until I was like 14, 15, 16. Like, there's a lot of restrictions, and so like, most of my friends all had MySpaces, but I just never had one. I saw it when I went to my friends' houses.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like,
what is this?
Social media is dumb or whatever, but like, MySpace was fun because it was like, I don't even know how I learned HTML at age like 15. You know, like, I was just like, I can custom make my page, and it's gonna have trolls and fairies, and it's gonna scroll in the middle and have this music that you cannot turn off because it's embedded. And my top 8. Oh man, yeah, it was weird. Like, it's still, I would take that over Facebook. Facebook's
garbage.
It's not aesthetic either. No,
not at all.
No, Facebook is like the IKEA of social media. It's just like one size fits all. Like, that's all you get. You get this. You get one font. You get one background. That's it. One layout. That's it.
I literally am on Facebook for Facebook Market and buy nothing, and that's it. Like, I had a friend get upset a couple months ago that I like wasn't calling out another one of my friend's posts for some of the things she was saying that could be found offensive, and I was like, look, I don't even like. Yes, I'm on Facebook, but I don't log on to Facebook to read people's posts. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry for the thing I didn't read and then didn't comment on. Like,
yeah. It causes a lot of unnecessary drama, even like that. Like, I was talking to a friend the other day, and we were just like kind of commiserating about like, social media has made friendships lazy because you kind of just like assume that everybody sees what you're posting, and that, you know, when they don't comment on it or they don't whatever like it or whatever, they get all hurt, and you're just like, no, I'm just trying to cut it out of my life. So I didn't see it. If there's something important you want me to know, tell me. Or like no one really checks in on each other that much anymore. Not like personalized message, how are you doing? It's just kind of like a generalized like, oh, well, I saw that you posted this the other day, so obviously you're thriving. I saw that.
Your social media presence is definitely reflective on your mental health, for sure.
Yeah, I saw that you were working on a costume, so I'm sure you're doing great. Yeah, I don't know.
It does start becoming that thing where almost like you're putting out this big advertisement to anyone that supposedly follows you.
It's a performance for sure.
Yeah. And I know damn well that because of just time and algorithms and all the other kind of stuff, there's all kinds of stuff that I don't see. And like you were saying, that some people get offended by that. And they'll actually DM me about it. Say, Mark, how come you didn't respond to me about this? I'm like, what are you even talking about? I don't sit there all day, every day trying to understand this stuff. That's one of the reasons why I actually moved over to Instagram more, just because it's more about content. And you put stuff up, and that's kind of that. And I still don't see everything there, and that's fine by me because I don't live my life that way. It's a means to an end in terms of what I do. But if that's what you're trying to let me know something important's going on, you need to get a hold of me directly in some way.
You got my number or email or something.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
I'm so bad about texting people back, though. I will say it takes me like 3 days, but I get there. It just takes a little while.
I just forgot, and then I got this commercial stuck in my head, and then
I replied in my head.
Yeah, and then I looked up the actor that was in that one movie that I was thinking about, and then I wondered why, like, blah 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 in the.
And then I remembered I didn't bring D2 ketchup, and that's probably why they tipped me $2.
Oh my
God. A lot going on.
Yes, like you have those dreams. I don't know about you, but like I waitressed for
stress dreams.
I waitressed for like 8 years, and then I still have nightmares to this day, where like, oh no, I didn't bring table whatever their ranch.
I always I have the dreams where I promise people they can order things that aren't on the menu, and then like half an hour later they're like, "Where's my food?" And I'm like,
oh, I never put it in.
I work at a Chinese restaurant. I can't get you a hamburger. I'm so sorry. Even though I promised you I could, I don't know what's going through my mind. Like, this is my fault. I have such bad restaurant stress dreams for sure. Like, it's bad. Or I'll be walking down the street and I'll remember. I'll be like, oh, A3 wanted ranch.
Yeah.
Or I should have refilled their Coke. Like, stupid things.
Yeah, I'd be like, oops, hope they don't come back and remind me of that. Very passive aggressively.
Don't post a passive aggressive Yelp review, please.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's the worst. Yelp is one of the worst things that has ever happened to the service industry.
Everybody relies on Yelp though. Like if you go to a new city, people are like, what are the Yelp reviews on this restaurant?
I don't look at it.
Especially during COVID, so much of it is reflective on like to-go service. And if you think about it, like 90% of restaurants don't have their own to-go system set up. Like they're working through Grubhub or Uber Eats or DoorDash or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, there's
and
so many.
the food's ready on time at the restaurant and it's sitting there. Like it's not the restaurant's fault it took an hour to get to you. Like that's the delivery service for scheduling that particular delivery driver like 4 orders. Like that's on the service and not the driver or the restaurant. Like that's their fault that the food came to you cold an hour and a half later.
Yeah, it's like, why don't you lazy ass go pick it up then?
I mean, like most people don't have cars, so there's that in
that's
big
true.
city.
In the city. Yeah, good point.
But like I'd still rather cook like 3-month-old whatever's in my cabinet than
order 3-hour
food from a restaurant 20 minutes before it closes and expect it to get to me on time, hot and good.
Ugh, that plus like usually when you order takeout, like and it's hot and then they put it in the box and they close it and it just gets soggy because of like humidity. I don't know. I'm not.
I feel like pizza is like the one dependable.
There you go. Or like noodles, something like that. Yeah.
Pad Thai pizza. That's what we got.
Yeah.
2 options.
Pad Thai pizza.
What you doing, cat? Sorry.
Bye, a silent koala. Goodbye. Have a good night.
I think they're staying. I think it's Ken leaving.
Yeah, Ken left.
Oh, just kidding. Hello, silent koala. Just to have you still here.
Well, welcome back.
Do koalas make noises?
Koalas are kind of vicious. Like, they're cute, but they're feisty. So I don't know. They probably make some fucked up noises though. They're from Australia after all. Australia's got some weird wildlife.
I feel like 9 out of 10 of like the world's deadliest animals live in Australia.
Yep.
Do you want to die? Australia.
Australia. Yeah. Or the Amazon.
Yeah. Although, like, I'm not ruling it out to visit. It's a really long flight, but I think it would be beautiful.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm sure, like, if you stay within certain...
I need a net around me when I sleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please. Bug net.
Yes.
8 layers of deep.
Spider repellent. You know, just like sleep with a bunch of like spears like around your bed, just in case any kind of like a wild kangaroo just comes at you or something.
I'm actually sleeping in like one of those Indiana Jones traps.
Yes.
With like the spikes and snakes at the bottom. I'm in that. That's where I sleep.
Yep, and it just shoots darts when anything gets too close.
Perfect. That's how you handle Australia.
Yes. You should YouTube koala sounds.
Oh my god, Mark, you should put a video of koala sounds.
This is taking a very interesting turn. I feel like we might fall down some really unfavorable YouTube hole if we do that.
What do you think koalas sound like, Mark? If you could imitate a koala, what would it sound like?
I have no idea.
Does it sound like a bear? Does it sound like a monkey? Nobody knows.
I have no idea. I'm flashing back to like those videos where they show them like slowly crawling down the tree and eating the leaves, and then someone trying to grab them, and they got those really gnarly looking nails and stuff. But I have no idea what they would sound like.
I just know they feed their babies their poop.
So I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, because they eat eucalyptus, right?
Yeah.
And it's like has an enzyme or whatever that's like super hard to digest.
Okay.
So since the adults have those enzymes, or I'm not a biologist, I can't tell you like the exact science, but I know that like babies.
Bara koala expert.
Dude, yes, Discovery Channel, hire me. No, but like, so the babies can't digest whatever the hell is in eucalyptus. So the adult, the mommy, has to eat it, poop it out, and feed it to their kid. That is so gross. But animal kingdom.
I mean, humans, like, very expensive coffee is generally either pooped out by goats or monkeys or cats, I think are like the 3.
I don't know. I
like,
just thought it was
they
like
feed the coffee beans to like the goats, and then the goats poop it out, and then they clean it, and then we roast the coffee beans and drink it. It's a delicacy.
Yeah. And you live in like Coffee Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I drink a lot of tea.
Oh, imagine how much like goat poop it's taken to run Seattle.
I mean, like our seafood, we can't even eat the seafood in the Puget Sound anymore because it's like hooked on narcotics, because people are flushing opioids, and we also are like a drug trafficking.
Because you're a port town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex trafficking, drug trafficking. Yeah, we're a hub.
Yeah.
At the center.
Wow, that is insane. Even the fish are depressed there.
Yeah, like we have so much natural seafood, but we can't technically eat it because it's like hooked on opioids.
I mean, unless you want like fish with a perk, you know, like a literal Percocet.
Quite literally perk.
Yeah. Wow. Look at you, Bara the Koala Pro. Hell yeah.
Weasels.
That's one of those things that's like TBKs, I call them, the tidbits of knowledge. Like, you just like, I just know that koalas feed their kids poop. You're welcome.
Hi, kitty. Sorry, my cat is right here. I forgot I wasn't muted.
Now we're gonna know the full extent of your crazy cat lady. Oh, jinx.
She's just staring at me.
That
She's been fed. She has water. I feel like those are the basic needs.
No, she doesn't, like whenever there's a camera around, they just show their butthole. That's like the rule. So it's been like a few hours. Yeah, it's been a few hours, so it's like she's just like, I've been preparing.
By the way, this is a part of my anatomy.
Yeah. Respect it.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was looking at your screen. I was like, did I just see?
I thought I saw the cat butthole already, but you know, I've been like.
I mean, Carlos is back there making dinner.
Ooh, burn. Kidding. There, no, she like flashed her tail up on the camera or something. Yeah, so she was like gearing up. She's like, "Ooh, just a tease."
Yep, get ready.
Get ready for the grand finale.
What is? Oh, the gem. They do have gem covers. I feel like that's the shit you see on Wish.
Yep. And I feel like cats are like so good at getting things off of their bodies that would last like 30 seconds.
Yeah, like they just sit down and it'd be like boop.
Yeah, they just like wiggle their tail and it's just like, haha, human. You thought you got me. Try harder.
Have you ever bought anything off of Wish?
Mm-hmm. Back when Wish was a fairly new thing, everything was $1 on there. That's how I found out about it. It was like everything was $1 and $1 to ship. And you know, that was before I was aware of like the shady nature kind of that app. But yeah, so like I bought a few things, but it was always stuff that you could like, pretty much pick up at the 99-cent store or like knockoffs of something. But now they raise their prices and shipping's more expensive and it's still like the same crap that you can get off of eBay or whatever. But I've seen some like pretty interesting expectation versus reality.
Oh, you can buy point shoes on Wish.
Oh, really?
But it's pretty bad. Like I've seen a couple people, they're bad.
Yeah. I can't imagine it's good.
I've never bought anything off of it, so I was curious.
I always get very weird suggestions though, like advertisements. And I'm just like, what does the
Would you like a latex bodysuit with only a hole for your mouth? Perfect.
I mean, I would take that over like the weirder stuff that I've seen. Would you like a human meat suit?
Yes.
We have that for you. Would you
like
some
made out of human meat, or it's like a meat suit for humans?
Who knows? You never know until you buy it. Like that's the thing. What is advertised is not what you get.
Mm.
Would you like a tiny dragon?
Yes.
Would you like a blow up doll? Like I've seen a few of those.
Pass.
Like what does Google think that I am? Like why does it think that
a gem of a human being, obviously.
Oh my gosh. What about you, Mark? Have you bought any weird things off Wish?
You know what? I don't even know what that is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You've been saved.
This is so fascinating to me that I'd say probably maybe 2/3 of the conversation you two have had. I'm kind of like,
yeah.
I've either heard of it or I don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about. So
Wish is basically just like an app where you can buy things directly from China, basically. So you can buy things super cheap, but it'll take 2 months to arrive. Okay. Or like whatever.
Did you ever have like a 6-star or like a Dollar General or Dollar Tree or something like that?
Yeah, we have Dollar Tree.
It's like that, but like more obscure and online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing about Wish,
these are all the things you didn't know you needed for $2 from China. It'll take 5 months.
It'll take 5 months, yeah. But like,
and it'll probably be half the size or not what we described at all.
That's the thing. Like, it's been memed a lot because it's like you will like. I know a lot of my friends that are like fashion designers or whatever. They'll post like Wish has, they've ripped off my designs or whatever, and they will literally take a photo of like that dress or whatever that person has designed, and they'll put it on Wish and advertise it for like this. You know, this ball gown is $30, and you know it's too good to be true, but you buy it anyway because you're just like, well, hopefully it is that ball gown, and then you get it, and it's like two pieces of fabric that are hot glued together or something. Like, no joke. You do not ever really get what is advertised on Wish. But people
This is
still
a
use it like crazy.
chihuahua-sized ball gown, actually.
This is actually a dish sponge, but thanks, I needed one.
But it's a ball gown.
Yeah.
We made it out of sponges. It's a novel concept.
Yep.
$30.
Or it's one of those things where you do you remember those things that you would like soak in water and they would grow?
Yeah, they came in like a little pill.
Yeah. Like this.
I mean, they had like magic like underpants and washcloths and whatnot, but the fun ones were like it looked like a pill and you put it in water and it was like a dinosaur shaped sponge and you're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but I am happy I own a dinosaur sponge. Like,
I know. 90s had weird things. Like the 90s came up with some weird toys.
Yes.
I will say.
What if the people I know, I suppose, via the internet posted like an advertisement from my childhood and I was like, oh my god, I forgot this existed. I sent it to my sister who's close. I have two sisters and one of them is only 3 years younger than me. And so I sent it to her and I was like, do you remember asking for this for Christmas? And she was like, I didn't until now.
What was it? You remember?
They're called Ello. Like ELLO. And it's like kind of Legos, but not really. For like girls.
The gender marketing.
Yeah. One time, fun story, I asked Santa for Legos and he was like, Legos are a boy toy. Don't you want like a digital camera or something? And I was like, I'm 12 and I want Legos. Like, this is what I want. Thanks for disappointing me, Santa.
I remember like there was this toy that it came out probably in like the early 90s and I could not remember the name of it, but I knew that it existed because I remember even thinking as a kid, wow, this is fucked up. How did this ever pass like any kind of board meeting or anything? And it was like a toy that looked kind of like, Beaker from Sesame Street. Like it's like really thin, like plastic toy with like spiky plastic hair. And what you would do is you would grab it and like you would choke it out and it would like go like it would go like that, like so it was just like this thing that you would like violently shake and it was like if you were basically just asphyxiating them. And this was a toy that had commercials.
What the hell?
I had to do like this deep dive into YouTube. I was like, I don't know what the fuck this thing is called, but I'm just gonna Google some weird shit that like the FBI is gonna flag me for probably. But like I found it and it was just like, who approved this toy? Like the strangulation toy.
This is why
it's been
there's
wiped
a fun sex culture in the world right now.
There's what?
This is why there's a messed up sex culture in the world right now. This and many other reasons.
Because of the 90s toys. We'll blame it on Hasbro or whatever.
Oh, Hasbro.
Wow.
This is how I'm going to do my hair for the duration of this.
I like it.
Thanks.
If only you had one of those like butterfly clips.
Yes.
Like,
these like little chicken feather hairs are really what's doing it for me.
You've been looking at yourself on webcam for too long.
Yeah.
Well,
I still like that the last comment is they have gem covers for cat butt.
I know, that's like, come on, somebody put something else.
Anything.
I'm just staring at that for the last 15 minutes.
Well, I was going to say, I think this is actually a good time to maybe kind of call it the end of our fun table. It's getting close to 3 hours that we've done this. But it's been great having Bara Hari back and Rowan back. And maybe in the future we'll get Dan back in here. And he can... Sorry
we talked so much.
No, that's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be talking and doing things and just kind of just hanging out. So... and anyone that's still there with us watching, if Silent Koala is still there, or my mom's still around, or Tony, or anybody else.
She checked out at like the strangulation toy. She was just like,
she's like, I remember specifically not buying that toy for Mark.
Oh. We had all kinds of weird things back in the 70s and 80s, but now I'm totally dating myself.
Pet rock? Did you have a pet rock?
I don't remember having one. I remember like having a Stretch Armstrong and some.
The fact that people paid for a pet rock is so like beyond. I don't. Chia pets.
I have
Chia pets.
Evil Knievel, Stretch Armstrong, the like Rock'em Sock'em robots. Hot Wheel cars.
Yep. Yeah, some of those Hot Wheels are worth a lot of money if you have them, like in non-plate shape, which I don't know who did that back then, but.
Are you kidding? You guys were like giving each other stitches at that point in time. Everybody was opening their toys.
Yep, absolutely. I have topic conversations, but you all have great rapport. Okay. Well, hey, Silent Koala, it's great that you joined us. And now that you're subscribed to the channel, I try to do these organically when I feel like it, which has been, this year it's been like once a month, maybe twice a month, kind of depending when, guest schedules and all that kind of thing. So there'll definitely be more of the fun table sessions. And this is what we do. We bring different people and we just kind of hang out and talk about random shit.
As you can see.
Koala noises.
But again, Rowan and Bara, thank you for taking the time today, and everybody in the chat, thank you. I hope you have a great weekend, and we'll have a chance to do this type of thing again. And if you want to see me do my one-on-one interviews when I have the other side of this table with the backdrop and the paintings and stuff, that starts again on Sunday at 3 p.m. with Mo from Yellowstone. So until then, stay safe, everybody, and have a good night.
Oh, what's everyone's social? Should we answer that maybe?
You know what, SoundQual, if you go to the description underneath this YouTube video, because I see that you're on YouTube, it'll have links for all the guests. So it'll have something for Bara and something for Rowan. So I can't remember exactly what's there, but that'll at least probably get you connected to their Instagram or their Facebook or things of that nature that kind of get you going.
My headshot's literally from when I was 18, so that's fun. A little old.
But thank you, Tony. Have a good night over in the Pittsburgh area. And again, everybody, stay safe. Have a good night. And I'll talk to you soon.
It was nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, nice talking to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.